Sleepy town settling for the night, where the Owens women live their lives. And it's about time that the back porch light comes on at that house down the street, at that house on Magnolia Street.
Check it out.
I want to know.
Check.
Yes, Batch. That's what we like. Hey, witch, hey.
Hey, witch, hey.
How are you doing?
Yeah, that reminds me of that Goonies. Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys. Chonk.
Oh,
I had a friend whose cat was named Chonk. Chonkers.
oh, I love a chunky little cat.
You know what I like is when mics and headphones all work together all morning. Did you get my Marco? Nothing was working. I don't know what happened to my Apple Pencil. Just not working. And I never finished the commission for that fish commission.
The commission.
The commission is not done. So I either need to troubleshoot this or go buy a new one, which I have such an old iPad. I don't know if it will work with the new ones. Okay.
When is the next retrograde? Are we going into that soon again? Or we just ended one, right? Like in October?
Dude, we got to talk about what happened yesterday because I can't put this off any longer.
I can't wrap my mind around it.
Should I just start at the beginning of my day, or do you want to just...
Yeah. No, let's start with you because that's how it started, right?
Yesterday, I stop on my way home from work, stop at Food Lion, pick up some groceries, right? Park the car, get out of the car, and I hear beautiful violin music coming from behind me. And it's probably maybe 15 spaces away from the store. Like they're facing the store, and it's a guy and his wife standing there, and the guy's playing violin. I was like, God, beautiful. I don't know what he was playing. Walk inside. I was like, I wonder if he's going to still be out there when I get back. Go inside, get my groceries. I'm in line, and the woman in front of me is trying to buy, this probably doesn't have anything to do with the story, but she's trying to buy 2 turkeys. And I guess Food Lion has this thing now, just, hey, if this is near you, Food Lion, 1 turkey per person, per transaction. You can't swipe a card 2 different times. So the checkout girl was going to go ask the manager if it was okay for her to buy these 2 turkeys. And I lean over to her. I was like, hey, I can just buy one. I can buy one for you. I didn't ask her if she had Venmo or anything, I didn't know if she had cash, but I don't know if she thought I was joking. I was serious. I'll buy you this turkey, because it sounded like she was getting it for her mom. And little checkout girl, she's super cute. She's teeny tiny little checkout girl. I don't know how she lifted these turkeys. They were way bigger than she was. I know, she was so tiny. And so the manager came over. She was like, no, can't do it. And the lady never brought it back up again. So I just left it how it was. But I was like, I get it. You don't want to run to 2 different stores to get a turkey. Beside the point, went back outside. The violinist is still there. I'm like, sweet. So he's in my aisle, just, the 15 lengths away, parking spaces away. I'm putting my shit away. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go give him some cash. I know it's hard times. It's holiday season. He's out there. I can see him. He's rubbing his hands together between sets. And so I put all my shit away. I get in, pull my money out of my wallet, put the keys in the ignition, turn it on. And he starts playing Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On. And I lose my mind. I was like, are you serious right now? To the universe. I was laughing so hard to myself. It's just because we always talk about Billy Zane. And it's just seriously.
The spirit of Billy Zane is haunting this podcast, and he ain't even dead. I
know. He's like, oh, you want to take my name in vain? Take this. Which, if that's how I'm gonna be haunted, that's perfect. My heart will go on following me around is fine.
But all right,
of all the things. Anyway, so yeah, I pull up to him and I give him my money. And his wife takes it. It looks like they have a little baby in the car. And I'm like, it just made my day. It was first of all, she's a goddess. And just, that song is iconic. But the Titanic has somehow become entwined with Magnolia Street through Billy Zane. Was killing me. So, and then I don't know, not 10 minutes later, I was, I would get myself together. Cause I was like, that was so weird. I'm driving home and I Marco Kristina and I tell her what happened, Justina, and I tell her what happened. I'm just blown away It was just so very strange. So I just let you know what happened.
Yeah, you
And
told me
I went about my day. That was
Okay.
about it. And then a little while later, you had something to tell
So,
me.
yeah, okay. So you guys, this story does not end there, okay? You
Mhm.
thought that was weird? Okay, here's where it gets really fucking weird. So, Kristina Marcoed me and told me about seeing this violinist playing this Titanic theme song, and we have the whole thing with Billy Zane. He's our mascot now. so I Marcoed her back, and I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. Like, I was like, good on you supporting the artists. Like, seeing buskers is it's a common thing in New York.
Yeah.
But I don't know how common that is in like South Carolina, right?
In South Carolina, no, dude, like we're rural. Like we're just like podunk towns. Like this is not anywhere you play music in a parking lot.
Right. Okay. So, and like I said, it's common in New York, but I'm in New Jersey. Okay. So here's where it gets really fucking weird. So I'm at work and my boss asked me to run a couple errands. And, normally on a normal Monday, the kids really don't have any activities. So I'm usually hanging around the house with them or meal prepping for her or, doing things at the house. But it was so random. She asked me to run a couple errands for her. She wanted me to go to the post office and she wanted me to do a return at Kohl's. So I have to drive like I don't know, 15, 20 minutes up the mountain to go to Kohl's. I was low on gas. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get gas first. And then I was going to go to the post office first because it closed at 5 and it was already like almost 4 o'clock. So I was like, I should go to the post office first because it closes earlier, but let me go to Kohl's first because it's, I was at the gas station. It was like, seriously, just drive straight. And the Kohl's was like right up the mountain. I'm at the gas station. I was like, all right, it's a straight shot up the road to go to Kohl's. Let me tick that off the list first. And then I'll swoop back around down the mountain and I'll hit the post office on the way back. So that's what I did. I went up to Kohl's and I parked the car. When I was sitting in the car, I turned the car engine off. And like, when you have the car engine on, like you kind of hear like whirring out of the car. Like when you hear like some kind of subwoofer, like you're not really sure what it is.
Oh,
like,
okay.
So I just thought somebody was blasting like really loud fucking music in their car.
From their car. Okay.
From their car. Yeah. Like the car behind me. So I turned my engine off and like, it sounded like literally like somebody was just blasting music. That's all it sounded like. So I turn I get out of the car and it starts like, I guess, forming what it actually
clicking.
was. Yeah, it started forming in my eardrums what it actually was. And I was like, that sounds like a violin. And I have this huge ass awkward sized box in my hand. Yeah. That my boss wanted me to return to Kohl's. So I'm trying to get out of this car with this big ass box and like the space between the cars is like very minimal. So I'm trying not to hit like the, car next to me. And but at the same time, I'm so excited that what I'm hearing is about to like take place. And I'm like, no fucking way. There's no fucking way. So I get out of the car with this huge ass box. I don't even remember, I remember once I got into the store, I was like, did I fucking lock my car? Did I shut my door? Because I was so I was so entranced by what was transpiring in front of me. So I get the box, again, not sure if I even shut my car. I get the box and I start walking toward where the music was coming from. And before I knew it, this figure starts to take shape in front of my very eyes. And I'm just like, it's a violinist.
And it's Billy Zane.
It was not Billy Zane. And she's not playing Titanic, but I was like, what the fuck?
Was it National Violinist Day yesterday? What the fuck? I
don't know, but I just Marcoed. Well, first of all, I put the awkwardly sized box down in front of me because I was like, I have to give this person $1. I have to give this person $1 and just like keep passing on the good karma today. Because you said you had given your violinist some money, right? Yeah. So I was like, Kristina gave the violinist some money. I'm gonna give the violinist some money. Maybe this is a sign. Maybe this is like, it's a test. We have to spread the good karma around or something like that. I don't know. I just felt like I had to give her some money. Yeah. So as I was giving her some money, I was marcoing you. And I was like, can you fucking believe this shit, Kristina? What are the chances of us both seeing a parking lot supermarket violinist in the same freaking day? Because this is not common in a parking lot, like a random shopping mall parking lot in New Jersey. It's not very common to see a busker.
Is that what they're called, buskers? I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's very common in New York. It's very common in big city areas, but not in suburban New Jersey. I've never,
No.
I can tell you how many times I've been in this parking lot. I've never once seen a busker in my entire 30 something years on this earth. Like, so when I saw that and what you had told me previously that morning, I was like, in the same fucking day? What? My mind was blown. So I marcoed you, and I marcoed you as I was giving her the $1 or whatever. I gave her a little thumbs up, took my awkward box, walked inside Kohl's, went to the return. As I'm getting to the return, I get a text from you, and
That's right.
I guess you were responding to a text that I had sent you earlier that day.
So I figured out that I could change your text notification to pew, pew, pew. So that's what it has been. Pew, pew, pew. And you said, can you see that light show? And I'm like, no, what the fuck? And you sent me a video. I guess when you on your Apple phone type in pew, 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 it sends off a little like laser show. So I ended up later watching that video. I was like, oh, what the fuck? That's weird. And that's all I said.
Yeah, you said, okay, so right after I marcoed you, this parking lot violinist, you texted me. You didn't respond to me. You didn't marco me back. You texted me and you said, ha ha ha, what the fuck? That's sweet. And I said, what in the random? Like, I thought you were responding to my marco about the violinist. And I was like, what in the random? And you said, I'm jealous. And I said, what are the chances we both saw supermarket violinists in the same day? And you were like, oh, what? What the fuck? And I was like, wait, you weren't responding to my marco?
No, no, I was oblivious.
So then you marcoed me back and you were like, oh my God, I have such chills. What the hell? Are we in some kind of simulation? The fuck?
I think it's some kind of simulation too. And I would have requested, I'd be like, yo, can you play My Heart Will Go On? But like, I feel like we were putting our money in like the universe's ATM. You know what I mean? Like deposit. This is for later. I don't know what it means, but we're notating it today.
Talk about synchronicity, guys. Like,
it was weird,
right?
That was real weird.
Because like, all right. And here's the thing, like you said, your turkey story had nothing to do with anything, but it did, because you were prompted, because now that girl like said nothing about the turkey, you had that cash to give to the musician.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
That's what I was planning on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it was meant for that person.
Right. And if I had gone to the post office first, like I was originally planning on doing, I might not have seen that by the time I got up to Kohl's.
Oh, so weird. This is like Slim Truman Show shit.
Isn't that that's some mind-bending shit? Oh my God, my mind is blown.
Oh, that's what happened yesterday. Happy holidays.
Yeah. Happy holidays, synchronicities. I must have marcoed you like 4 times after that. Just like, oh my God, my mind is blown. My mind is
can't wait to share it on here. But like, just a reminder, like pay it forward, man. It's just money. Like people, everybody's low on cash these days. You might be putting your money into the universe's ATM. And
that's exactly what I felt.
Something awesome might be happening in the works. I
definitely felt like it was something bigger at play. Because like, again, what are the chances we both saw supermarket violinists in the same day in like suburban rural communities? That's not a common thing. That is not a common thing.
So I know it's going to be hard to remember, but y'all, if you were out and about on November 14th and you saw a violinist, and excuse me, oh gee, that was if y'all saw a violinist out in a parking lot on November 14th, please let us know, because something weird's happening if y'all did.
Yeah, and we hope you paid it forward. Otherwise, you're going to miss that boat. You're going to miss the boat that we're getting on.
Yeah. And remember, only 1 turkey per person at Food Lion.
Also, yes, I wanted to say thank you to Kristina for buying me my birthday microphone. So hopefully my sound will be better in the next episode.
Dude, your sound sounds good to me. I just know that I'm louder, even though like I'm sitting back here. Anytime I'm doing the editing, I'm like lower, you know. Well,
you know what I noticed?
What?
When I'm using, because since you're using your snow cone microphone and I'm using
my Blue Blizzard.
Yeah, your Blizzard, and I'm using my laptop speakers on the Zoom recording. So whenever I'm laughing and you're talking, like I think all of my laughing just gets like smushed and just cut out. So
I wish it didn't, because it's the best part. I love your contagious laughter, man.
All right, so the next episode, maybe you guys will actually hear me laughing at Kristina's funniest shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So what's the first thing you think of when I say the word broom?
Witches.
Broom. Yeah, exactly. I don't know of any other word that comes to my mind when I hear the word broom, but like, where is that all stemming from, and how is that connected to magic and lore and history? I think that's what we're talking about today, isn't it? Yeah. So we both did a video ages ago, different times, different videos about brooms and broom making.
yours was ages ago, right? Mine was like literally this past summer, which is like so fitting that we're talking about this now.
Oh, cool. Tell us a
Still
little bit about
fresh.
it.
Still a little fresh. Well, the broom that I made was made out of yarrow. I have a yarrow bush growing right outside of my front porch, and it got pretty high. Like yarrow gets pretty freaking high. And I think it has like 2 kind of rounds of growth throughout the summer. The first round of growth can get very high, but once you trim that back, it doesn't get as high the next time around for that season. So the first time though, it was it was dead. It was kind of top heavy, it was droopy, and also I think I mentioned this in my video, there was a duck living inside of that thing. So so it would come and go, but whenever it would like kind of like do that, it would kind of flattened out the bush. So as if the yarrow wasn't top heavy to begin with, like the duck just completely flattened it out, and it just
was it a single bachelor duck? Where is its its mate?
I don't know. It might have been a mommy duck. I really don't know. It was like hiding some eggs in there, but I don't remember seeing any ducklings or any kind of eggs. So I think it might have been a bachelor pad for this duck. I think it might have been a bachelor duck for sure.
It smelled real nice too. That's a first for a bachelor pad.
The yarrow.
Yeah.
So what I did was I deadheaded the yarrow. I cut it back, and then I took all of the fronds, all of the clippings from that, and I'm talking like, I don't know, this yarrow must have been like a foot, 2 feet long. Like it was long enough to be the bottom part of like, the sweeping part of a broom.
Beautiful.
That's what I did. I did a little Summerween YouTube video, and I made my little yarrow broom with using the clippings from that bush. So the one that you did, it was actually broom weed, right?
It was, but I wanted to ask what your handle was made out of, because
it was just a stick or like a big branch that I found on the side. I have a lot of trees around my house, so when Avi's cutting the lawn, he does like some twig cleanup of all the stuff that falls, and he just kind of piles them on the side of the house. So I just went through the pile, and you'll see in the video, I just kind of like picked one off the side of my house, like that was in the pile of fallen branches. And I was like, ooh, this one looks really cool and witchy. I actually had to saw a little nub off of it because it was kind of like hindering the bottom portion a lot. And it was prohibiting the yarrow from lying flush against the branch. So I had to saw off the little nub. So I do that in the video as well.
What else did you add to it? Did you add anything to it, and where did you end up hanging it?
Yeah, I actually added some charms. I have like a whole little collection of charms that I've had since like high school. And I also had some, like, I bought a bunch of keychains from my trip when I went to Greece, like those evil eye keychains. And yeah, there's like a variety, an assortment of little charms that I hung on mine. I think I also had like a little good luck thorn, little pewter charm from high school. That's
a good luck thorn. What's that?
Yeah, like the runestone symbol.
Oh, this one?
Yeah,
The one you gave me? Awesome.
Yeah. So I did the good luck thorn, then I did a little evil eye charm. I dismantled a keychain from Greece to put that on there, but it's fine. I had a few of those. I was planning on giving them out to people, but then I was like, oh, I only have like 2 friends, so I only gave out
2 friends that are worthy.
Exactly. But also
that would appreciate it.
I think I actually have one more, or I might have a couple more, but yeah, I just hung some charms on it, and then I just put it on my front porch. And then after I read your notes, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have put it like that, because now I'm reading that you're not supposed to put the broom right on the ground. It's like bad luck or something. I'm like, oh fuck, well, I just put my life for the next foreseeable.
No, it's all about intent. It's okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. It's like different in so many different cultures too, so it's totally okay.
Tell us about your broom weed, because it's called broom weed. Is it actually called broom weed?
It is. There's a few different species and variations, which we'll talk about probably towards the end of this episode if we come back around to talking about these videos. But yeah, about 6 years ago, I saw a video by Jacqueline Dubois, who I think she lives in California also, and her place is called Moon Mother something or other.
She proclaimed herself like the actual the witch of San Clemente, California, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I saw her video, and she was using broomweed, and it's this like it's got all these beautiful yellow buds on it, and it's an invasive species. So she's like, pick it where you can find it because it just takes over. And I'd gone out a couple times looking for it, but its blooming season hadn't happened yet. So I was just basically spinning my wheels, wasting my time. But well, before we moved, so I don't know, 3 or 4 years in a row, every year you go out and you get new broomweed and you take the old bundle and burn it. So I'd go out and get new broomweed and I put it on the end of a piece of driftwood. Aaron and I found like staff length on the beach. And I would put every year like a notch, like carve a notch in it with a knife. So I was trying to keep track. But since then, I haven't done anything to it. It's hanging on my wall without any bristles on it. But in the video we're gonna link, it shows me the first time I'm making it, I think.
I like the idea of burning it and then the next year kind of like to refresh for the next year.
Exactly.
And like burning all. Okay, so here's how kind of like I'm envisioning it. So like whatever bushel that you put on there at that time for the next year, it kind of like catches all of the bad juju that kind of like tries to get past your threshold. Because I have mine on my front porch, so it catches anything bad that comes its way. So that's a really cool idea, or kind of like notion to kind of carry with you through the year. And then once the next harvest season for yarrow or broomweed, you just like burn all the bad juju that it catches over that year.
Right.
Make a fresh one for the next. I really like that idea. So
thanks. You should do that, because the yarrow next year is going to be twice as big for you. It's going to come back.
Yeah.
But that's not the one. The one in the video is not the one like I use for any magical cleaning. I don't do a lot of magical cleaning. The one I have by the back door, I think I found at like a Goodwill, and which is now thinking about it, I'm like, oh wait, that's probably not as strong as something I make from my own hands. So maybe this year in the spring, when everything comes up, I'll make a new one. But we don't have broomweed here. I didn't check to see what was on the East Coast. You can use anything though. You can really use almost anything.
Right. You could even use lavender, like really anything that grows really tall. So you can use those as like the fronds of the bottom of the broom.
We have those longleaf pine trees down here. Even those, like that would make your house smell fucking amazing.
Oh, you could. And right now, like around like Yule, it'd be a really thing to use for Yule.
Or juniper, anything. Oh my gosh, we're not even into the topic yet. And we're like, we could use this and this and this. But
getting creative with like the seasonal stuff you have at your disposal. I just like making use of anything that's very seasonal and just around and just begging to be used for your magical purposes.
Right. And like Justina said with hers, you can add charms to it. You can do a yearly charm blessing or put new ones on, and like your practice might change, so the stuff that you connect with could change, and that's a perfect time. I think it was Beltane. I think it's connected, redoing it on Ostara or Beltane, I can't remember, but it's all about what your practice says feels good to you.
That makes sense, because that's around the time of like Ostara, Beltane, like the spring cleaning is pretty big around that time,
right.
So it's the perfect time to incorporate into your magical practice, because it also, not only is it seasonal, it's also like you get to get your little spring cleaning rituals on. So it's a nice thing to incorporate.
And we're going to talk about later, like one of the biggest superstitions is to not bring an old broom into a new house. So why would you bring an old broom into the new year? New year, new you, new year, new house, new broom. That's what I'm saying. Get yourself a new broom. All right.
I have a story about new brooms that I'm going to tell a little bit later.
I can't wait.
It's a little bit creepy, but it's also a little sentimental. So I'll tell that a little later on.
Great.
So how does the broom, or what does the broom have to do with practical magic?
The witches. Tell us about what's going on with the brooms and practical magic.
So as we all know, that famous quote from the movie when Sally and Julie are trying to cover up their little mess after the midnight margarita scene, like the shit kind of hits the fan, and then the broom falls. Well, first of all, Sandra Bullock goes, we had a problem, we handled it, right? And then the broom falls, and then who is it, Francis or Jet, that goes, broom fell, company's coming. And we're like, oh shit. And they do
That's
that, like,
the distinct smell. It's the smell of bullshit.
It's the smell of bullshit. I love that. Oh, this is going back to talking about Jacqueline Dubois. Doesn't she remind you of Jetty a little bit?
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
Always reminded me of Aunt Jet, and I'm like, I love her. Yeah, so it's the nail that whole scene when the broom falls. It's kind of a nail in the coffin of the Midnight Margarita scene. It kind of prompts the aunts to know something is up,
Mhm.
and then it ultimately leads to them leaving Jilly and Sally to clean up their own mess, quite literally.
Yeah, because when they're still pretty I don't know if they're on the girl's side. They're like concerned, like when she smashes the bottle in the sink. Like, tell us what's going on. Like, they want to help. And the girls are just like, no, everything's fine. We handle it. Like, and then the broom goes down and they're like, oh, no. We're out. You fucked up.
And it's also like they were almost like a little offended that the girls didn't want help. They're like, oh, okay, well, you started this mess, you clean it up. So we also see brooms again at the end of the movie, which the brooms at the end of the movie kind of create this chain between the women in the coven. This circle of broom creates a barrier to keep Jimmy's spirit from escaping once it leaves Jillian's body. The broom is then used again to sweep Jimmy's ashes out of the house and back to the ground to where his body is buried. And then which we see them pour the lye on it, probably to speed up the decomposition process and just rid his energy, his stank ass toad energy from the property once and for all.
Yeah.
And then the broom, I feel like the broom in the movie seems to be kind of like a symbol for sisterhood, community, and gathering, because every woman that Sally summons to help her, they're all instructed to bring their own broom, except for the one weirdo who took a page out of Mary Sanderson's book and brought a goddamn vacuum.
She's like, I'm going to someone's house to clean. That's all I know. She was super excited. She was like, is this okay?
But she was so clueless. She probably had no idea what she was showing up for.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, it was cute for comedic value, but ultimately it was actually useless because if you notice, there's no vacuum in that final circle scene.
It's energetic cleaning, not literal cleaning.
Right.
Can I just interject really quick? So when we did the priestess training and when I would go to the meetups for this group in San Diego, every now and then we would do when we would close the circle, when we would arrive and we called the corners and then we quote unquote close the circle. We're casing ourselves in this safe space. We would do this thing where we would stand in the circle and the woman next to you would reach out her left hand and say, I offer you my hand. And with your right hand, you would say, I take your hand. You would say with your left hand, I offer you my hand. And all around the circle, these women would say, I offer you my hand. I take your hand. And like, cause your left hand is your giving and your right hand is receiving. And all the way around. And like, you could feel like the energy building and building and building. And I don't think that the producers would have done this in the movie, but I'm wondering if the broomsticks were laid, with the one end on top of the other in that fashion. I'm interested to look back at that, but that's what it reminded me of, like that synergy of being all connected like that. So that's what I just wanted to share.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. So the brooms basically give the women the power they need to go up against evil. And it kind of reminded me, or it was kind of reminiscent of what like Sally was saying to Gary about his star. Like the broom has power maybe because they believe that it does. So that's what I was kind of like thinking. And me and Kristina wrote a song called Circle of Brooms that we hope to share in the near future, right, on one of our song-episodes.
For sure. I was listening to it the other day, but this song it reminds me a lot of like the older timey songs that have that singing in the round. Yeah. Where it just keeps building and building and building. And we're going to try to figure out how to accomplish this sometime with this song, but Justina just singing it solo has such power. Like it brings me to tears. Like I listened to it the first time this past week and I think I marcoed you. I'm like, this is so beautiful.
Oh, is that the one you were listening to?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I can't imagine it with like other voices singing it all in the round, but I can't wait to hear it.
We're going to do a whole episode on each one of our songs just to like spotlight and, tell you a little bit about our songwriting process. But for this song specifically, I just wanted to encapsulate, is that the word? Just that those themes of sisterhood and togetherness and standing one with your witchy sister, but it's just a very just a song about togetherness and just feeling close to your witchy sisters, because I feel like society pins us against, or tries to pin a lot of women against each other a lot of the time, and it just like forms this like unnecessary competitive spirit. I don't know why.
I think this song is also like about transformation. It's so transformative. Like the one line you have is, they came in fear tonight, but leave with so much love. Like Jet, I think it's Jet, right? Who says there's a little witch in every woman. They all left there feeling like, oh dang, like, because I had this connection and I believed in it and we came together for the greater good.
Yeah.
We have this power. Am I a witch? Like, you know?
Yeah, it had them really like guessing or second guessing, like, I guess who they are, because for a long time, like, they had such this like negative connotation of the word witch, and now they see what witchcraft really is. It's not like evil, it's not, you know, it's not out to get you, but it's more just an empowering feeling of just being a woman in society and owning your power. Sister.
Oh my God, sister. I'm trying to think if there's any other movie that I had seen before this where they like encapsulated women supporting women to this extent. And I really can't think of, off the cuff, I can't think of anything. Can you?
Punky's coming through.
Wait, okay.
Off the cuff, I guess, like, if you want to go back to like the 90s movies, like Yeah Sisterhood.
But did you see that movie before this one?
Yeah Sisterhood?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm thinking before this, had I seen anything
before that
like this?
I mean, if you want to consider The Craft, because they had their little, you know, circle going for a little while before.
Oh, you saw that one first. I didn't see that one first.
Yeah, The Craft was like a huge part of my early teens.
Right. However, that one had like almost an opposite ending of competition, and their power, like, you know, their greed for power overtook everything.
But there were no brooms in The Craft. There were no brooms in that movie at all.
How about that?
Right? How about that? You know what I did notice in Practical Magic?
What?
So glass, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, glass actually breaks in that movie like 4 times, and the broom is never used to clean up the glass.
Interesting. I had never noticed. I do note, like, when Jillian drops the plate, I've never seen somebody clean up glass with a rag.
Yeah.
But
so yeah,
I guess it's a thing.
That's the only time we ever actually see the glass being cleaned up, is when she uses the kitchen towel to clean up the plate. And for the second time, or actually the first time it breaks, it's the glass is actually thrown into the sink. It's not even cleaned up. It's just, both times it's just thrown into the sink. Like, Jilly throws the bottle into the sink, right? The tequila bottle.
Oh.
And then the second time, Sally kind of like cleans it up with the rag and then throws it into the sink. She doesn't even throw it into the trash can. They just throw glass into the sink. I don't know why.
I'd be so worried that would scratch up like the porcelain. That doesn't seem right.
I don't want to chat too much about the actual glass because I have a whole episode planned for breaking glass.
Awesome. Do we want to talk about the books a little bit and the mentions within this is like our gospel. It's the gospel of Practical Magic, Magic Lessons, Rules of Magic, and Book of Magic.
All 4 books, or basically, we go into this. Well, let me just say that I still have not finished reading Book of Magic 100%. But so most of the stuff that I pulled was for the first 3 books. But you know what? Okay. I did magnifying searches for all 4 books. The broom is not really mentioned all that much.
Okay.
So in book number 1, there's only 5 mentions.
Okay.
So this is the first book, Practical Magic, before the movie came out. The broom is used to chase the sparrow out, which gets into the house every solstice. And chasing the sparrow out with the broom is said to bring all the negative energy in the house out with the sparrow when it leaves.
Interesting.
And then on page 177, Jillian says to Sally, "You need to stop focusing on being just a mom before you shrivel into dust, and we have to sweep you up with the broom." Yeah. So I'm thinking, since this was written before the movie, maybe they use this bit as inspiration for when Jimmy's spirit turns to dust and they have to sweep him out of the house with the broom.
Yeah, that would be sweet. That's so funny. So do you think this is around the same like time period in the story when she's like, "You're wasting yourself, Sal," and she gives her the what for? Yeah.
And then the only other references of brooms in book 1 have absolutely nothing to do with witchcraft. One of them is the teacher was sent for and he waved a broom around, but the cats still will not leave. And I think this was in reference to when the aunt's cats followed Sally to school. And then another one is Kylie's hand pulls her toward the back room where the cans of syrup and the mops and brooms are kept. Scott is following. So again, has nothing to do with any kind of witchcraft. And then the third
Dude,
is what?
Real quick, you know, I'm realizing we totally forgot about Scott in the book versus movie with the additional characters.
He's very forgettable. I'm
He's
sorry.
such a like little. I think he's in that book you're reading, isn't he?
I think they mentioned him because wasn't he one of Antonia's prospective baby daddies?
Dude, okay, so if we're gonna talk about this, I need to tell you something. Okay. So in The Sims, like as they grow, they age and progress. So Kylie, like I have her as the redhead, you know, Evan Rachel Wood. As their stories progress, she turns into a lesbian in my Sims world. And I had done this before this book came out.
Oh shit.
And in this book, she's a lesbian. So I wrote this book.
Holy shit.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Dude, I'm telling you,
I don't know. We have a hand in this. Our egos are so big right now.
Oh my God. All right.
Isn't that wild? Okay, so Scott is an additional character we have not talked about.
The only other reference to the broom in book 1 that has absolutely nothing to do with witchcraft is the woman who works in the motel office, I guess the one that Gary is staying at. She runs outside wearing a black rain poncho and carrying a broom she'll use to try to unclog the gutters before tomorrow's predicted storm. That's the only other reference.
Is this the storm, the precursor storm to where Gary and Sally are in the car and he puts a chicken outside?
Yes.
Okay. So weird.
So then in Rules of Magic, there's only 6 mentions. The first mention is when Franny, Jet, and Vincent go visit Aunt Isabel and see the house on Magnolia Street for the first time. They arrive on the summer solstice as per tradition, a sparrow enters the home, which should be chased out with a broom, so any bad luck will fly out of it. Again, what Alice does, which is really cool, is that she kind of reiterates things, like certain things that happen in each book, kind of so you don't have to read every single book. So she kind of just like gives you the gist of like why things are a certain way, just so you kind of like have like a basis of information, and then like she continues her explanation and elaborates from there. So like without even reading the first book, you could just read Rules of Magic and you would be well versed in kind of, I guess, the whole summer solstice tradition. This sparrow tradition is kind of like a little thing in every single one of the books, even Magic Lessons, which is going 300 years back to Maria's story. So anyway, back to Rules of Magic. The 6 mentions, the first one is the Aunt Isabel, the tradition, the summer solstice, chasing the sparrow out of the house for good luck. The second one, Isabel, this is a quote, Isabel was about to hand over a broom that would help with the job, but there was no need to do so. The bird came to Franny of its own accord, and that's on page 23.
So then why in Practical Magic are they still chasing this fucking bird out with a broom if Franny has this thing? And supposedly Sally does too.
Yeah. Yep.
What the hell?
Yep.
But we just heard in relation to like Michael's death also. Do you want to tell everybody what we just caught Alice Hoffman on a live talking, and did she, I didn't see the whole thing, but you said you saw the whole thing. Do you want to say why, like there's some differences? Yeah,
so some inconsistencies. But the episode that you hear before this one, we were probably laughing because there was a huge inconsistency with Michael's death in the very last book, where it says he was struck by lightning, whereas in the first book he was hit by a car, and even in the movie he's hit by a car. So we were kind of laughing at that huge inconsistency, and we're like, Alice, what the hell happened? So I was listening to a live with her. She was doing a live on Instagram. She kind of made it clear that she didn't use any kind of outline when she wrote any of the books. So I don't think she went back to her first 3
But why wouldn't you?
I don't know, but that's what she said. She didn't use any kind of outline. I don't think she went back to the original book to write the last 3 books, I think. So a lot of the stuff she said she forgot, and I don't think she not that she didn't care enough. I don't know. I think she was just like writing just, because she felt inspired and she just wanted to get things down before they
didn't change. Yeah, it didn't change the narrative of the plot. Like, he's dead, he died. It doesn't have any connection with what the story is about, whether he died from lightning or died from a car. doesn't have a end
Not
result.
at all. Not at all. It doesn't have any kind of infringement upon the plot and how it unfolds at all. It's just he died. That's all we need to know, and that's it. But it's just funny as like a reader and like as a huge fan of, Eat the movie.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we're like, how did this change? But and I also think it's funny how in the first book, lightning was a huge thing because didn't his
Grandfather. Yeah.
And also in Rules of Magic, Jet was involved with a couple boys from town that also died from lightning. So lightning is a huge I guess motif throughout the course of all the books.
Yeah.
And maybe she was just rolling with that lightning theme, and maybe that's that's what she was thinking of at the time when she was writing the last book, and she was just like, I'm recognized by lightning.
I agree. I'm with you there.
Yeah. So back to the brooms. The next mention of the broomstick is on page 112, where it says Franny goes for the broom and dustpan to dispose of the remnants of the Death Watch beetle that Vincent stomps on when him and Franny see one on the threshold of their home. And this is the omen of their parents and Levi's death. And then there's just a couple more mentions on page 142 and 149 referencing two rats that live in the broom closet. And that was pretty much it for Rules of Magic.
Okay. Is that broom closet in the Magnolia Street house? Or is that at their townhouse?
No, it's the house where they live in New York when their parents die and they're trying to kind of like make ends meet on their own.
Got it.
Yeah. I think that's why it started talking about the rats in the broom closet, because they were having some trouble trying to make ends meet, and the house started kind of falling apart a little bit.
I see.
Kind of starting to reference like, okay, so now rats are starting to move in, and like, they kind of couldn't keep up
but isn't that just New York though?
Yeah, basically. Rats, roaches, you name it. It's
awesome.
Yeah. So then the next few mentions were in magic lessons. This is Maria's story. And there were only a very few mentions in this book. So the notes and highlights that I made in my Kindle reader, kind of like as I was reading this book, on page 38, it says, a spoon had fallen. Oh, that's right. Okay, so yeah, in Maria's book, it says a spoon had fallen, a sign that meant company was coming, which differs from the movie because in the movie it says the broom falling means company is coming. But then on page 171 in the same freaking book, it says Maria had been expecting a visitor, for the broom had fallen an hour earlier, which always meant company was coming. So so I guess in the book, the spoon and the broom mean company's coming. I don't know.
We had that superstition growing up that I think if a spoon fell, a female was going to visit. If it was a fork, a male was going to visit. Something like that. We had that superstition growing up.
All right. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting how in the same freaking book, it was like a spoon means company. Oh no. And now a broom means company.
I think later on down the line, don't we have on our topics list just superstitions at some point? But we should talk about, I don't know about you growing up in like an Italian household. I'm sure you have your own superstitions. So do we. And we should share those sometime.
Oh yeah, totally. Definitely. So then in Magic Lessons, Maria's story, page 391, it says, okay, so this is the start of the sparrow tradition. Okay. It all goes down on page 391. So
I'm
check
ready.
it out. It says the start of the sparrow tradition entering the house on Midsummer's Eve at the house on Magnolia Street. It said that if a sparrow completed a circle around the room 3 times, bad luck was sure to come. Because of this, Faith never forgot the bird whose life she had taken for her own benefit, who made the revenge pie for John Hathorne.
Got it.
Yeah, it goes on to say there was nothing Faith wanted from John Hathorne now, so she chases the sparrow to the window and gently urged it out of the house with the broom. So I guess all that bad juju and all that guilt that she felt for killing that bird for that spell for her own benefit, she let it out. She chased it out of the house with the broom. So that was the very start of the chasing the sparrow out of the house on the solstice tradition.
So yeah, it sounds to me like because of her guilt, because she took the life of this bird, what is it, like the telltale heart, like coming back to haunt her, like you took this life, I'm coming back to haunt you, and if I complete these 3 times, bad luck. So she's like, okay, we'll get out. Does she chase it out before it does its 3 times around?
Yeah, I don't think it did the 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't mention, I don't think it said that it did that. So I think she just chases it out. And then, that was the start of that tradition from that point on.
I like this, you reading the books to me. It's like, Because I don't
Wait.
remember, I am not as versed, like I don't remember the last 3 books as well, but you have just read them. And the Practical Magic one, I'm like, where
But
did that say that?
yeah, but can I also say that the magnifying glass feature on the Kindle reader is friggin' awesome.
It's sweet.
How
It is
complete-
so great.
yeah, I'm loving it. So like anything that we're doing research on, I literally just do the little keyword search and it pops right up, and I'm like, awesome. So yeah. So
Do you
that,
remember encyclopedias? Do you remember how much of a pain in the ass encyclopedias were?
wait, what's an encyclopedia?
Yeah, aren't you like 7 years older than me?
Wait, you mean like Wikipedia?
Oh, man.
I remember like back in the day, my parents had like the whole like collection from like A
Yes.
to Z, every single word in the English language.
Dude, in grade school, Catholic K through 8, I got in trouble because I took the S encyclopedia out and the kids were like, she's looking up what sex means. And then I was like, no, like to save myself, because I was like, maybe
Maybe you're right.
I never got the talk, but anyway, I was like, no, I'm looking up sextant, like the nautical device for navigation.
Dude, maybe it's like, I don't know, a European thing. My parents never gave me that talk either.
Yeah.
It was just so awkward.
I still don't know what sex is. Oh.
All right. Anyway. Not to
What do
get
we got
too
next?
off topic, Book of Magic, the very
Okay.
last book, and this is the book that I'm currently trying to finish. So there's only like 4 mentions in this book of the
Okay.
broom, and
Hit me with them.
again, I think most of them are related to that damn sparrow.
Wow. Tradition.
So page 16, it says, there was Franny out in the chilly dusk without a coat, a broom in her hands, doing her best to bat them away. Oh, this was in reference to the bees that started swarming near the house, which is an omen that a resident of the house is sure to die. So Jet insists that they need the bees, pries the broom out of Franny's hands, and lets it drop to the ground. And
this is after Jet already hears the Death Watch beetle for her.
yeah, she already knows, I'm sure, at this point.
Okay.
Then on page 30, it says the carpets had to be taken out to the porch and beaten with a broom. It was traditional to do that after a death, to prepare for the mourners and to clear out anything the deceased might wish to keep private.
Oh.
And then on page 31, it says, while preparing for Jet's death, they also use a broom to sweep away the cobwebs in the house. And then here we go. On page 65, they use a broom to chase a sparrow out of the house this season, not on the summer. Oh, that's right. In the last book, the sparrow finally arrives out of season, not on the summer solstice as it usually does.
Oh, strange.
Interesting. I haven't completed the last book yet, so I'm really not sure what that's all about yet.
What is that all about? Okay.
Okay. To know soon. So yeah, that's a big hefty bit about the broom and all 4 of the books.
Awesome.
And is there anything you wanted to comment on before we take our break?
No, I don't. I appreciate you reading them to me. This was like, I wanted to sit back and relax, because I feel like on the house episode, I was like, Victorian architecture porn. So this one, I was like, you read to me, I will be surprised. And thank you for taking me chronologically through the broom, through Alice Hoffman's eyes. I wonder if she personally has any broom lore, like any broom superstitions of her own. Maybe she grew up with the companies coming.
Maybe.
Do you want to take a little break here? And when we come back, what are we going to do?
We're going to talk about brooms and the origins in witchcraft, as well as broom lore and cleaning superstitions from all around the world.
I'm excited because I can't wait to hear this story. You have a personal story linked to some brooms. So, all right, we'll be right back after this. Yeah. Oh, I don't like that.
Hey, we're the Stinas, and you're listening to Magnolia Street Podcast.
All right, guys, thanks for coming back. We're gonna do a Inner Witch Oracle card pull, courtesy of Grounded by the Moon. Justina is shuffling as we speak. Do you want to give us a little of that ASMR? And I'll be quiet.
Yeah. Can you hear it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
I cannot
baby.
hear it now.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right, here we go. Our card is Witch's Hanging Rose.
All right.
The keyword on the bottom is protection.
Would you mind writing it in the notes? Because I cannot write it in the notes.
Oh, yeah. So this is the witch's hanging rope, and the meaning of this is protection. But it means inner strength. This is also a keyword that he included, inner strength. So the witch's rope entangles you with strength and protection. Know that you are safe. If you are offered a piece of this rope, accept this as a gift, for there is no need to worry. You are protected from any evils that may disrupt your path. Do some protection work for yourself and those close to you. And I think this card for this episode is kind of interesting because, as we know in the movie, this is what Jet and Francis give to Kylie.
It's right after. Oh, you're right.
As a result of the broom falling, and they know that company's coming, they are very quick to give those little girls some protection. So they saw the broom falling as the sign, and this was kind of a result of that sign, just keeping those little girls protected. So this rope is connected to and honors the witches of Salem and their magic, and provides the newer generation of witches protection, peace, and inner strength. With the piece of rope, tie a knot for each element while speaking the affirmation. Carry it with you, leave on your altar, or make a bracelet to embrace these powers. Dispose of by burning and repeating the affirmation one last time. And the affirmation is, I am safe, I am protected, and I am strong.
I need that in my life. I go from 0 to panic so fast. I just need a little piece of rope. I had yours. I had that. You sent me a beautiful witchy box from Salem, and you had twined it up so pretty, and I had it on my wrist for a little bit, but then I showered and I didn't want to get it all like nasty. So I took it off. But that, man, your altar. I need that.
Put on your little.
Yeah, well, it's just something to like bring me back into like the present. Like what I've told you this past day or two from work, I just had like a panic about something, and like. It was the end of the world. It's like that situation where your heart drops into your asshole and you're like, oh, I fucked up. But to have that, it's fine. Yeah. It's really not that big a deal. But I don't know how I hold myself to this fucking standard of you gotta be perfect the very first time. So maybe that having a rope like that or something around might help with that. You are protected. It's okay.
It's that damn Virgo ascending, man.
I know.
You want to be perfect all the time.
I know.
I get it. We're going to talk about some brooms and witchcraft origins now, right? You want to take us into this segment?
Yeah, let's go into the past. Let's go to history.com and talk about the brooms and witchcraft origins. So the word broom actually comes from an actual plant. Do you think this is the plant or shrub that was used to make many early sweeping devices?
Is it that broomweed that we were talking about?
That's what I was just thinking. I'm wondering if that's the case, but I guess we will get there. It gradually replaced the Old English word besom, though besom is how it is spelled. Besom. Though both terms appear to have been used until at least the 18th century. From the beginning, brooms and besoms were associated primarily with women because women typically took care of the household. And this ubiquitous household object became a powerful symbol of female domesticity. Okay, I do too. I really. Oh, I started making a list of words I really like. And endominum. Remember endominum from the Beatles?
Oh yeah,
I love that word. I was saying it. I don't know endominum. I really like that one.
Endomium leviosa.
Oh wait. Oh no, wait. That's not how it is. It says endymion. Endymion. That's it. See, I still can't say it right.
wait. What was it? Zestobium roifoliosum.
Perfect. Zestobium roifoliosum. I feel so fucking smart.
I said that to Avi in the car the other day, like randomly. He was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Let me tell you about the Death Watch beetle, honey.
I was like, see, I started a podcast. I learned things.
Oh yeah. We're going to learn so much fucking Latin.
There's actually a quiz coming for you guys soon. So just be ready for it. Yeah. We're going to quiz you guys.
So let's talk about like the witches, how flying witches are linked in with pagan ritual. Anthropologist Robin Skelton suggests that the association between witches and brooms may have its roots in pagan fertility rituals, in which rural farmers would leap and dance astride poles, pitchforks, or brooms in the light of the full moon to encourage the growth of their crops. This broomstick dance, she writes, became confused with common accounts of witches flying through the night on their way to orgies and illicit meetings with Daddy Satan,
Daddy Satan. Black Phillip.
Black Phillip.
Oh my God. I fucking love him. Black
That's a
Phillip.
great movie. So broomsticks were also thought to be like the perfect vehicle for special ointments and salves, which I think we go deeper into. I'm sure lots of witches know what a flying ointment is, but people who like the practical magic movie might not know what a flying ointment was or how it was made or what was in it or how it was applied. So we're going to get to talk about all that.
Yeah, Kristina, how was it applied?
Just you wait. Just you wait. So these ointments and salves were brewed up to, it said that they were given the ability to fly, among other depraved activities. So in 1324, holy fuck.
Wow.
A wealthy Irish widow named Lady Alice Kettler. We've heard about Alice Kettler before.
Have we?
I think the Waba covered her in depth.
Okay.
Was tried for sorcery and heresy. So investigators reported that in searching Kettler's house, they found, quote unquote, a pipe of ornaments, ornaments, wherewith she, a pipe of ointment wherewith she graced a staff upon which she ambled and galloped through the thick and thin. End quote. Ambled and galloped. I love the word ambled.
Ambled.
So a pipe of ointment wherewith she greased a staff upon which she ambled and galloped through thick and thin. End quote.
Wait, hold on. So is that just like really fancy terminology for like she was humping a fucking stick with this shit on it?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, I believe so.
All right, go on.
Okay, so pharmacologist David Kroll writes in Forbes that alleged witches in the Middle Ages were thought to concoct their brews from such plants as Atropa belladonna, which we're going to get into, and that's deadly nightshade.
Mhm.
Belladonna is what Sally and Jillian give Jimmy. Hyoscyamus. Niger. Okay, we're gonna just do henbane, mandrake, and jimson weed, all of which have produced those hallucinogenic chemicals known as tropane alkaloids.
Yeah.
Tropane alkaloids?
Yeah, tropane.
Orifice. Orifice.
Orifice.
So according to some historical accounts, rather than ingesting, here it is. Here's where we're gonna get.
Okay.
PG.
Here we
13.
go.
So instead of ingesting these mind-altering substances by eating or drinking them, they were usually that would cause like some digestive distress that would fuck up your insides. So witches, quote unquote witches, these women were choosing to put them in their bodies a different way, often most times in the most intimate areas of the body. So if you're not getting where we're going with this, women would grease up the poles of the broomsticks most of the time and put them on their vaginas to absorb those hallucinogenic properties without the digestive distress that would happen if they would eat it or drink it. That's what we're getting at. So how come I get all of the weird, like old English text? We're going to talk about a book called Murder, Magic, and Medicine by John Mann. And this cites in the 15th century, in his 15th century text by the theologian Jordanus de Bergamo. Bergamo?
Bergament.
Oh, okay. Who wrote that the vulgar believe and the witches confess that on certain days and nights they anoint a staff and ride it on the appointed place or anoint themselves under the arms and in other hairy places. Orifice. Beginning in the 17th century, though, accounts of witches using broomsticks to fly up and out of chimneys became more commonplace, which is wild. But also they have bigger, like that's where they're cooking. So they need that big old grand hearth, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Even as women became more closely associated with the household domestic sphere than before. According to one custom, women would prop up a broom outside their door or place it up their chimney to let others know that they were away from the home. Perhaps this popular legend was embraced with the idea that witches left their houses through. Firstly, I need to ask, how do you get a broom all the way out the chimney? Are you standing inside?
I would guess so.
What the fuck? So perhaps because of this, popular legend embraced the idea that witches left their houses through the chimney, even though very few accused witches ever confessed to doing so. I can't imagine trying to fly out the chimney. But that's interesting that it was like a out of office signal. Put it outside your door and be like, I'll be back later.
Dude, I have a little sign that says the witch is in.
Cute.
There's no broom or anything, but it's just like little witch legs that said the witch is in. But I would guess like it'd be easy to get a broom out the chimney because they use brooms to sweep the chimney. So brooms fit in the chimney, right? Because
Yeah, but I'm just thinking like if you're putting it out as a signal, it needs to go all the way out the top of the chimney, right?
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I don't know how tall these women were.
Maybe it's just like a legend or a myth, or is it like actually like that actually happened? It says popular legend, so it might not have actually ever happened. Maybe it was just believed to have happened, and people just elaborated the stories over time. I'm guessing.
Okay.
I think that's how a lot of these legends come to present day. Like they're just passed down from generation to generation, and then it's like a game of telephone. Once it gets to you, it's like all kind of fucked up. Like
scared, puritanical, horny men.
Exactly.
Being like, they're getting lubed up and flying out the chimney. So by the 18th century, the popular anxiety about witches and witchcraft kind of subsided. Although there are still plenty of self-identified witches in the United States today, thanks to like the growing neo-pagan religion, the religious traditions like Wicca. Few of them claim to be taking to the skies aboard their brooms, but the image of witches flying on broomsticks still endures, especially on Halloween. And that's so crazy that it was like such a highlighted chunk of history, but it was such a huge blown out of proportion misnomer or trope, I guess. It just fucking stuck.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like the puritanical fear-mongering hysteria, like it all stemmed from that, I guess, right? Or did it stem further? It stemmed back to like the Europe burning times. Where did the actual broom thing start? Did it start in Europe before the Puritans came over, or did it start in like Puritan time period?
So it's at 1324 is when we were talking about Alice Kettler.
Yeah. So that's way, way, way before Puritans.
It has been around a minute.
Okay. All right. So we're going like ancient witchcraft.
You don't think women were just like, I am bored as fuck. And I want to just have I want to just like get high, just get a little high. Just get high a little bit. So I don't know where I read this. It might have been in the priestess training thing. I don't think we cited it here, but I had heard like that to obtain these salves, women just couldn't go to their local like head shop, and pick it up. They needed like a reason, almost like a knitting circle. So they would go and purchase a broom. They would, I need a new broom, and then it would be already like lubed up.
Oh,
and so a woman walking home with a new broom wasn't like looked twice at. So it was like a vessel for their concoction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they kind of had to like hide it in plain sight, like, oh, I'm just buying a new broom for some cleaning, but in reality, it was like
fucking Alice Kettler coming home with 4 new brooms a day for a week.
Dude, good on her. Good on her. All right. So this source comes from the enchantedliving.com. And again, we'll post all of these show notes and resource links down at the bottom if you want to check any of these out after the show. So the material used in brooms would necessarily, it would have depended on what was available to the individual broom maker, from twigs and husks to grasses and feathers. Okay, so eventually someone was thought to add a handle to their sweeping bundle, and the broom as we know it began to take shape. By the Middle Ages, the most common form of broom in use in Western Europe was the twig besom. Despite being introduced to Italy from Syria in the 15th century, broom corn, also known as sorghum vulgare, would not become a common broom material until the early 19th century in America. In the modern broom making community, besom typically refers to a broom with a long handle and a round brush, sewn or unsewn, and made with any of the several materials, including twigs, broomcorn, and broom sedge, while the general term broom is the default for one that has been clamped and sewn flat for the purpose of efficient sweeping. Brooms and besoms have been associated with witches for centuries, and not just as a favored mode of transportation. In Ireland in 1324, a wealthy widow named Alice Kettler was accused of witchcraft. One of the many accusations against her was that she had been spotted sweeping her neighbor's doorstep in an attempt to sweep their good fortune away from their houses and into her own. What a bitch!
Whoa! Big claims.
Watch out. The first known depiction of witches flying on besoms can be found in the margins of the illuminated manuscript of the poem Le Champion des Dames. So,
ooh, very good.
Does that mean the champion of dames?
The women?
The women? Yeah. So like dames in French is women, right?
I think so.
Written in 1451 by Martin Lefranc. A caption above the heads of the flying women identifies them as Vaudios.
Vadoise.
Vadois. Okay, we are not French people.
Hold on, let me go get a pronunciation. Oh, I can't copy. Whatever, we're going with it.
That sounds right. Vaudois. Or Waldensians. Waldensians, member of a breakaway Christian sect that was declared heretical by the Holy Roman Church in the early 13th century. Surprisingly, the first person known to confess to flying on a besom was a man.
Whoa.
His name was Jolame Edelin.
Guillaume. I think I have an ancestor with this name. Who's rolling? Guillaume? I don't know.
Guillaume Edelin was an Augustinian priest and the prior of Saint Germain en Laye when he was arrested and charged with witchcraft after publicly scoffing at the church's warnings that witches were running amok in the countryside, making pacts with the devil and flitting about on a broomstick. He was charged with an assortment of diabolical crimes, including making a pact with the devil and flitting about on a broomstick. A confession to these crimes, quote unquote crimes, was tortured out on him, after which he repented, but was still imprisoned for the rest of his life.
Whoa.
Could you imagine being imprisoned for just fucking around on your broomstick? Like, what the fuck?
Dude, but that confession was taken after he was tortured.
Yeah, horrible.
Whoa.
Horrible. So here's some little superstitions that I guess the author, do we know the author of this?
Open that there link.
I'm gonna open this link. The author of this was, well, it says photo by Jessica Fertney. Oh, the article is by Charlotte Baker. And this, I think this was part of the Practical Magic issue 40, right?
I believe so, yes. I'm looking up how to pronounce this bloke's name.
This bloke
was located.
Oh my God, just how do you
do you go about pronouncing it? In French, in France, we would say Guillaume.
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 Very good. Okay, Guillaume.
Right. Got it. Guillaume Edelin. So there's some superstitions that the author Charlotte Baker has included in her article. And again, this is issue 40, I believe, of the Practical Magic issue. It was Fairy Magazine. It's now known as Enchanted Living. I think they did a little brand change. So if you want to find this article, you can go to enchantedlivingmagazine.com. So my brain just broke. All right. So some of these superstitions include: it is considered unlucky to sweep dust out of a door after nightfall. Never sweep on New Year's Day, or you'll sweep away all of your luck for the coming year. If a visitor is overstaying his welcome, stand a broom up behind the door of the room in which he's being entertained. He will soon grow uncomfortable and leave.
Oh, shoot.
I'm going to start doing that when people
I've just put some, just got to slap some googly eyes on that broom and make him really uncomfortable.
When people
this place is weird as fuck.
Yeah, when people start staying past like 1 o'clock, it's time to put that broom in the corner.
Time
to put that broom behind the door.
That's right.
Yeah, kick them the fuck out. So to prevent the return of an undesirable overnight guest, sweep the room he or she sleep in as soon as possible after their departure. Stand a broom beside the front door to bar the entrance of negativity. That's kind of what I did with my Yarrow broom.
Mm-hmm.
If one sweeps under the feet of an unmarried person, he or she will never marry. That's kind of fucked up.
Whoa.
To kind of just like curse somebody like that. You're never gonna marry. Let me sweep under your feet. If an unmarried woman steps over a broom that is lying on the floor, she will become a mother before she becomes a wife. Oh shit.
Oh dang.
Shotgun wedding. If someone sweeps over your feet, you are in danger of going to jail unless you immediately spit on the brush of the broom.
Straight to jail. Dude, so some of these are repeated through all these different cultures. Yeah. And all I kept thinking was sweep over your feet, right to jail.
Yeah.
Have you seen that meme? Okay.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But we're probably going to be repeating a little bit of this throughout just to kind of specify which culture all of these come from. And then the last one in this article says, to bring rain within 3 days, dip a broom into a bucket of water into which dried fern has been crumbled, and then hold the broom aloft, shaking the water out to simulate rainfall. With this long and storied history, our humble brooms and besoms may not be so humble after all.
Cool. I like that. I like that a lot. I really like the rainfall one. Not that I have a problem with that right now, but over the summer, that would have been good to know. It was so dry here.
This has nothing to do with brooms, but another big kind of herb or flower that you can incorporate into any kind of rain magic is the pansy.
Really? Why?
Yeah. I think I did a YouTube video on it, and I also did a little blog post on it. And in one of the videos that I made, I think it was for Lammas. I think I did or was it the summer solstice? I think it was one of my solstice vlogs from a couple years ago. I did like a little rain magic intention spell because it was also very dry here during that time as well. And I made little rain magic cookies because pansies are also edible, so you can put them on little
Oh, cool.
They look so pretty. They're the prettiest things I've ever seen, and they're edible. People put them in salads. People, ingest them.
I've seen them like candied. Are they the ones with like the super rounded petals and they're like purple?
Yeah.
Okay. Even their shape is like a raindrop shape almost.
So cute, right? They're so
It's
cute.
very cute.
Yeah. So I know it has nothing to do with brooms, but if you're looking for something to incorporate into any kind of rain magic, the pansy is your go-to.
I was going to say, even if it's not like a physical rain, maybe like I need it to rain prosperity. I need it to rain abundance.
Yeah. Or if you're having trouble processing your emotions.
I like that.
Water is tied to your emotion aspects. So it can be incorporated into any kind of emotional therapy and work as well.
Awesome. So let's talk about historical asshat Benjamin Franklin here for a second.
Asshat Benjamin, I like that.
So this is Broom Lore by Neil Murphy. This is from settx.com. We're going to link it below. But the lowly broom has been around in our civilization for centuries, and it said that Benjamin Franklin introduced the broom corn to the United States in 1725. He is said to have picked a single broom corn seed from a Philadelphia lady, planted it, and grew the first broom corn in the United States. What was she doing? She had the seeds. Didn't she grow it first?
Right? Like, why is he taking credit for this shit?
Not sure how I feel about him.
Like that.
So folklore and old wives' tales include traditional benefits, customs, songs, and sayings about the broom. So included are beliefs about marriage, childbirth, like some of these we've already done, festivals, warfare, hunting, and farming. The old myths that are passed along in these cultures are all over the world. The following are a few of the more prominent beliefs that coincide with the broom. So this is all Neil Murphy's collection of more superstitions. So the first one on here is you don't want to lean a broom against a bed, which I've never heard of. The evil spirits in the broom will cast a spell on the bed. Oh no. If you sweep trash out the door after dark, it will bring a stranger to visit. So that's a little different than the first one because you don't want to sweep. It's also don't sweep it after dark, but it didn't mention anything about the stranger visiting.
Right.
If someone is sweeping a floor and sweeps over your feet, you will never get married. Here's the difference there. So we have go to jail or never get married.
Right.
Take a broom along when you move, throw out the old one and buy a new one. We've heard that before. So to prevent an unwanted guest from returning, sweep out to the room they stayed in immediately after they leave. I've also heard like if you want somebody to go, like sweep behind them, which seems pretty sus. Like as they're walking out the door.
Yeah. Don't let the broom hit you on the way out.
While you are sweeping near the front door, if the broom drops, be expecting company before the day is through. Okay, interesting. So while you are sweeping near the front door, if the broom drops, be expecting company before the day is through. Do they mean like if it slips out of your hands?
That sounds like what it's saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you find a broom laying on the ground, pick it up for good luck. That just seems like the right thing to do. Get it out of the line of traffic.
Like the right thing to do.
When you are sweeping up dirt by your back door, be sure to sweep it out the back door instead of inward, or you will be sweeping away the friendship of your best friend, which is interesting because later on, when I talk about floor sweeps, what I have to say contradicts that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So do not sweep at all with your broom on New Year's Day, or bad luck is soon to follow. That we had that one before.
Yeah.
Any trash that you decide to sweep up on New Year's Day, be sure to burn it. I like that. So you will have money all year long. I heard don't do any cleaning New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
I also heard that. I guess it depends on what tradition or culture you're from. Everybody has kind of their own little superstition.
When you carry a broom, carry it under your arm for good luck. If you carry it over your shoulder, you will be sure to have bad luck. Don't get mad and hit someone with your broom. If you do, you will find yourself in jail before the week is up.
Hit them with a frying pan. Then you'll get
straight to jail. Never sweep dirt out of your home before the sun comes up, or you will be calling in bad luck to enter. So sundown, no sweeping till the next day when the sun comes up. If the broom you are using happens to fall, it will bring you bad luck or company, apparently. If you wish for someone that has entered your home to go away, all you need to do is sweep in front of them. See, what the fuck? This is a sign that you do not want them in your home. I can just see, like, because we go on to talk about the floor sweeps and shit like that. And I've also heard using salt to like throw salt in their path.
Like, how fucking rude is that? Like, I don't care how
so rude.
I don't care how annoyed you are with a person, like a guest in your house. There's still a guest in your house. Like, do it after they leave. You know,
maybe back in medieval times, it was
maybe like
people weren't so soft.
Like it's like a Shakespeare thing, like biting your thumb at somebody, like get the fuck out. But anyway,
if you are visiting someone and you have to step over a broom in her home or outside the home, this means she is not a good housekeeper. Have you heard that one?
No.
Never hand someone a broom through an open window because this can bring bad luck. It is bad luck to loan your broom to anyone, even a good friend. Stand a broom upside down and you will marry soon with the handle to the floor, like I've been doing.
I guess so. Yeah.
Uh-oh. If a wife sweeps a circle around her husband, it will keep him eternally true to her. Cool. Yeah, test that out.
That woman whose husband was creeping with that dove stabbing bitch in Practical Magic, she should have been sweeping circles around her husband. Clearly wasn't.
Irene,
was that her name?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to move on to 9 of the most interesting cleaning superstitions from around the world. And this article is by Ashley Abramson from apartmenttherapy.com. And we'll link this down below. So again, a lot of this stuff is very repetitive. But Nitish, a lifestyle and fitness blogger and personal trainer from India, and we'll get into India sweeping cultures and customs in a minute because my husband is Indian and there's some stories that I have to tell about Broom
awesome
and his family. But Nitish says sweeping at night can bring bad luck. In ancient times, there was no electricity, and brooming at night with minimal lighting might also sweep away expensive items like rings, earrings, and chains out of the house.
That makes sense because we had heard that a few times that sweeping at night. This seems to give a little more context to like why that seems practical. I like that.
Yeah, because a lot of these people that are talking in this article, they are of that culture, so they can explain a little bit more about why these things are.
Maybe not the next one though.
TV host and lifestyle expert Michelle Madison, who grew up in a Jamaican household, she says one of the worst things you can do when you're sweeping is run the broom over somebody's foot. It either means they'll go to jail or won't get married. Yeah. So that one again is very repetitive. Before, she doesn't really give too much context about why that is, but
just don't do it.
So that one seems to come from Jamaican lore.
Interesting.
Yeah. So then don't bring an old broom into a new house. Another sweeping related superstition is from Andrei Kazimierski, CEO of Improvy. He doesn't believe in bringing an old broom with him when he moves. If you bring the old broom into your new house, you will bring bad luck with it, he says. Some say this is because brooms get attached to houses. Others say you don't want to take old dirt, both literal and figurative, into a new house. Apparently, this only applies to brooms for cleaning. Those used for magical purpose are quite happy to move house.
Oh.
So yeah, if you're using a broom for magical purposes only, it's okay to keep those in the house. Or move them from house to house. Only the cleaning brooms need to get thrown away. So this person says, when I asked about moving home superstitions and traditions on Twitter, one respondent actually did this and tossed the new broom into the house first.
Oh, cute. That's so cute.
So basically talking about bringing old cleaning supplies into a new house, this says, as well as leaving the broom behind, Coraline Daniels advises burning any dishcloths or cleaning cloths. That way you don't carry any bad luck with you from one house to another. A related superstition directs you burn your old broom in the corner. You shouldn't move it with your household furniture or it will only bring lack of success. And that is by William Carroll, who advises you to throw a broom over the house before you go to bring good luck. Dude, you gotta be like a javelin, like player to fucking, how do you throw a broom over the house?
Also, how do you burn a broom in the corner of your house?
Without burning down your house? Yeah. I don't know, because I could tell you, me and Avi burnt just like little teeny bay leaves last New Year's and almost burnt our fucking house down.
Oh, Jesus.
So
okay.
Take that shit outside. Catch me outside. Right. How about that? All right. So then Scott Hastings, co-founder of Betworthy, says, don't sweep on New Year's Eve. He picked up on some superstitions when he lived in the Philippines. One of the cleaning traditions he follows to this day is to never sweep or throw anything away on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day to avoid driving luck away for the rest of the year. If you need to clean, make sure to clean and throw things away before the end of the year, he says. So it's kind of like, again, that figurative and literal thing. You don't want to take last year's dirt into the new year with you, you know?
Right.
So Craig Miller, co-founder of Academia Labs, says, don't clean on Friday the 13th, a day many people consider to be unlucky. Like Hastings superstition, Miller says this one is rooted in the belief that cleaning on an unlucky day will drive away good luck. Once, Miller says, he didn't follow his wife's advice and decided to take out the trash. He says, I ended up tripping in the front yard and injuring my knee. So from now on, he just follows his wife's superstition.
She just doesn't want to clean that extra day.
Right. So now here's where there's some contradicting traditions.
Contradicting predictions.
Contradicting traditions or traditions, rather.
It's good. You'd be a good teleprompter reader because it's exactly tradictions. Traditions is what's written, so you weren't fucking it up. It's just the way I wrote it.
It's supposed to be traditions.
Yeah.
Okay. So cleaning on New Year's Day keeps the house clean the whole year. So while some folks steer clear of cleaning on certain days, others swear by it. Real estate broker Jordan Scarpino, that's such an Italian name, Scarpino, says his parents taught him that not cleaning the entire house on New Year's Day would make people lazy for the rest of the year. I could so see an Italian grandma saying that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So he says, my mom used to say, if we don't clean the house on the first day of the year, we're not going to feel like keeping it clean for the rest of the year. That would be me. I'd be like,
yes,
here I gotta friggin' clean.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. Then Joni To, assistant secretary at Pahernsi in Malaysia, says she grew up with two superstitions about brooms. First, never let a broom touch the ground when you're not using it, because it'll sweep away luck in a household, even if it's just sitting in the corner. She says, I heard my parents telling me this one day when I left a broom leaning against the wall without hanging it up like I usually do, because I got distracted with another chore and I left it like that overnight.
Interesting.
Yeah, so her parents told her that one. So be careful how you store your brooms. This differs from culture to culture too.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And going back to, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier about how to store the broom. And I was always under the impression, I don't know if I learned this in the priestess training thing, practicing broom magic, it's recommended to you can keep more than one broom in your home, like specifically using, have one for housekeeping, the regular day-to-day mundane stuff. And then the spiritual broom that you're using for ritual. But I always suggest that storing your broom like with the bristles up, because it's not going to only make the broom last longer, by not having the bristles bend. But if you're using it energetically and storing it with the bristles facing down, this could, in my opinion, this traps the energy to the floor, and you want that shit to dissipate. I always keep them facing up.
Well, so you're saying keep them facing up?
Keep them bristles pointing to the ceiling.
See, my whole thing going from like back before when we were talking about the burning of the bristles from year to year, because I have mine on my front porch and the bristles are facing down. So my kind of take on it is that any negative, because I have it right on my front door and my front porch, any negativity that comes trying to come over that threshold, it gets trapped in those and then you burn that away. Cool. So I guess it's whatever your intention is.
Oh, that could be like also if you have more than one broom, like if your magical ritual broom and you're sweeping all that out and keep it, you can shake it, you can sing at it, you can smack it against the porch railing just to like dissipate everything. And then maybe if you have like a broom for protection at your front door, back door, wherever, that makes total sense, having the bristles down. If you're not, if that is just your protection broom, that sounds awesome. Like that's like a web. It's like a forest, all that shit has to get through.
Yeah, I'm sure spiders have to get through that shit as well.
There you go.
I can't tell you how many spiders I see crawling out and like
there you go
that room. So yeah, it's all about intention. Don't follow what we say. If your intention is a certain, intention, then by all means keep working the magic that you feel comfortable with. These are just superstitions and lore from over the course of history. So, and also they vary from culture to culture. And like we said before, these are contradicting traditions.
That's right. All
right. So then we'll go to this article. This is from icysedgwick.com. And Icy Sedgwick says, don't use a brand new broom to sweep the dirt out of a house. Sweep something in from outside first.
Weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. And likewise, clean indoors before you use a broom to sweep outside. Don't sweep after sunset. You might sweep away happiness or annoy a wandering soul. Oh my God.
But that wandering soul might get that earring or ring that you dropped.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If you move house, leave the old broom in your old house because brooms get attached to houses. Buy a new one in your new home. Apparently, this only applies to brooms used for cleaning, which we talked about before.
Yes.
Those used for magical purposes are quite happy to move house. And I can't find anything to suggest these same superstitions apply to vacuum cleaners, so you should be okay with your Dyson. And I guess that goes back to the chick in Practical Magic who and Mary Sanderson. So yeah, I mean, vacuum cleaners are perfectly okay to ride too if you need to get to your next witchy meeting. So I actually had a more personal story about brooms. Specifically following the death in the Hindi culture. And this kind of goes with the whole theme that we talked about before with brooms being tied to their houses.
Okay.
So my father-in-law passed away in July of 2020, like during the height of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And when he passed away, I specifically remember my husband, he was like, "Oh, by the way, we have to get rid of our brooms." And I was like, "What?"
Okay.
Like, what do you mean we have to get rid of our brooms? He's like, "It's bad luck. When somebody dies, you got to get rid of your broom." And I'm like,
Okay.
"All right. Yeah, sure. No problem." So then he was like, "Here, my mom, she had a broom for us, like a brand new spick and span broom, like fresh from Costco."
Okay.
But here's the weird shit. His dad bought those two brooms, I think like either weeks or like a month before he passed. He passed away suddenly. He passed away of a heart attack.
Okay. And he bought the 2 new brooms that she was giving you?
He bought 2 new brooms, one for our house, mine and Navi's house, and then one for his mom's house.
Okay.
How did he know that we were going to be needing them? How did he know we were
What the hell?
Yeah, how did he know we were going to be needing those brooms?
Oh,
Like, it's like he knew, but like he died so suddenly that like
weird.
it was like there's no way. I mean, but like
Oh.
I guess he had that kind of like intuitive thing, like, all right, like kind of
Oh.
like Jet, like she just knew, like Aunt Jet in the last book, like she just knew. She started making her preparations. They did the whole house cleaning thing, and to the rest of the family, it was pretty sudden, right? Like
Yeah.
she didn't show any signs of illness, and like it said in the book, she was never sick a day in her life. She was always healthy. It was just something that she knew, and Frances knew because they had that sisterly bond. Like Frances saw that black aura around her, and she just knew. But like for the rest of the family, it seemed pretty sudden.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like maybe he knew something was going to happen, and he bought these brooms. And I'm like, all right, I'll throw away my broom. We need to get a new broom. And Avi's like, no, we don't. My dad bought 2 brooms, one for me, one for my mom, like a week or 2 before he passed away. I was like,
wow.
what?
Wow. That's
So,
wild.
dude, there's a few creepy stories that are tied to my father-in-law's death.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's insane. There's a couple creepy experiences that followed his death, but I just wanted to share that because I thought it was so interesting, because before that I had never heard of that superstition or that tradition
Wow.
of following a death in a Indian household.
Yeah, I had not either.
Yeah, also
Wow.
we weren't allowed to cook anything on the stove for like a week, I think, after.
Why?
Yeah. You're supposed to let people bring the food to you. I think maybe it's because you're not supposed, if you're by using a stove, you're burning away the spirit, you're chasing away the spirit and not allowing the spirit to cross over in the right way.
Wow.
Because there's I think there's something like a 7-day mourning period after like following the death, and we did this like whole like Hindu ceremony to help his dad transition. In the Hindu tradition, they believe that you don't die and go to heaven, you're just transitioning from one life to another, because they believe in reincarnation. So, and there's many stages of reincarnation. So, and this has been a while since we went through this whole ritual, so I'm probably forgetting a lot of things. But yeah, from the time of his death up until the point where we were able to do that ritual, like a 10-day, like 7 to 10 days later, like there's certain things that you're not supposed to do. Let people bring you the food. Also, we had to shower immediately after his not his burial, because Hindus also, they're never buried, they're always cremated.
Mhm.
So it kind of releases their soul back into
Mhm.
the universe or whatever. So we had to shower immediately after his cremation, I guess, to get rid of any kind of like spiritual remnants of him, so he's able
Yeah,
to
that makes sense.
fully cross over. So it's just very interesting, like a lot of the Hindu traditions and cultures that I learned upon, you know, my unfortunate father-in-law's
Passing.
passing.
Yeah, that's
But
so
it was, I
cool.
just thought a lot of it was just like very, very interesting. And I was like, I had never heard of this before. So
Yeah.
like he supplied us with a brand new broom upon his passing. Like he knew it was gonna
Do you
happen.
still use it?
Yeah, we still have it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Grandpa broom, or no, dad broom,
yeah, father-in-law broom or
father-in-law broom.
Ta'avi, dad broom. So the broom that because my mom bought us a broom when we bought the house. So I actually,
Such a witch. That's
I
cool.
know. Well, she's also a Taurus, so she's very like matters of the home.
Oh. Mhm, mhm.
So she bought us a broom when we got the house, but like I had to throw that broom away.
Oh, that sucks.
I had to throw that broom away, and so now we're using the broom that my father-in-law got
Did you
us.
only have to throw one away? Like, how many brooms did you, like, you didn't have to throw your magical one or anything like that away, did you?
No. Yeah, because I asked Avi, because I had my broom on the porch before. This was way before I made my Yarrow besom. I had another besom on the front porch that I bought. I think I bought it like a Home Depot. It's a
Yeah.
really nice broom. Like I bought it around Samhain, a
Uh-huh.
couple years prior to my father-in-law's passing, and I had that on my front porch. And I was like, Avi, are you gonna make me throw away my witchy besom on the front porch? He's like, no, only the brooms that you clean with. So it must
Okay.
be that whole tradition that we just talked about, only cleaning brooms, no magical brooms for spiritual purpose. You don't have to throw away those kinds of brooms.
Whoa, what a
Yeah.
crazy story, man.
And then, like, how did he know?
Maybe that was his dollar into the violinist thing, buying the brooms.
Maybe like I had like chills, like I had goosebumps, like when Avi told me that. He's like, my dad just bought these like before his passing, and like I didn't know, like, you know, he would just like get random stuff from Costco all the time just to like get it, and
But of all things,
I guess that's where my husband gets it from. My husband just gets random things at Costco, and he's like, here, we might need this one day. But yeah, of
gosh.
all things, a broom 2 weeks or like a month before his passing, and like knowing the Hindu culture, like
Somebody was gonna need them.
he knew we were gonna need them.
Oh,
It just gives me chills. I'm like,
yeah.
how do you know? But that's my story.
I
and
love that.
maybe we could chat a bit more about some of the other spooky occurrences following his passing, because there were a few.
Yeah, please do. But in the meantime, there's some more brooms and prosperity tied to the Hindu culture. Is that right?
Yeah. So I was kind of trying to research why it's a thing, like why when somebody passes in Hindu culture, why do you have to throw your broom away? And I think his mom had told us why, but this was like 3 years ago now at this point, so I forget. But I did look into more about brooms and prosperity in the Hindu culture, and upon researching that, I found these other brooms and superstitions. So
Awesome.
this is from economictimes.indiatimes.com. And we'll link this down below. So it says, to keep the house clean, brooms are regularly used in every family. Cleanliness is said to attract goddess Lakshmi, and this is why purchasing brooms on Dhanteras is considered auspicious. And I'll get into these terms in a little bit. Like who is goddess Lakshmi? What is It's probably pronounced Dhanteras. If like
roll that R, girl.
Yeah, I think that's how it's probably said.
Make that husband proud.
Purchasing a broom is considered to keep goddess Lakshmi from leaving one's home. Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of wealth and good fortune. The wife of Vishnu, she is said to have taken different forms in order to be with him in each of his incarnations. Bringing a broom home on Dhanteras, also known as, let me try to say this word, Dhanatrayodashi, is also said to assist one in getting rid of all debts and bringing happiness and prosperity. Dhanteras is usually 2 days before Diwali. That's the occasion when people buy something new and valuable, as it is considered to bring luck and prosperity for them. And as most of you might know, Diwali is the Indian festival of lights. And I think that's usually in November or the end of October, I think, sometime around now.
There was a show a long time ago called Outsourced. I don't know if you ever watched it.
Oh no, I saw the movie. I don't know if
okay. Yeah, there was a show. It was short-lived, but it was it's the American guy who goes to the like IT company and takes over, but there's also another American guy, like a more like country kind of dude. they're celebrating Diwali. And he's like, I don't really know, but he's like, Happy Diwali, everybody. And he's shooting a gun in the streets. He's like, Happy Diwali, everybody.
I think I saw the movies outsourced. I don't think I've ever seen the show, but I think there's a Diwali episode of The Office, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my goodness.
I think there might be. I might be making it up in my head, but I think I remember seeing a Diwali episode in The Office.
Okay.
But there are plenty of other broom superstitions and uses in Hindu culture. And this is from, I want to say, gatha.com, GAATHA.com. In Indian households, if a broom accidentally touches the feet, it is considered the embodiment of the goddess Lakshmi. Again, like what we said before, it brings wealth into the house by taking away dregs and dust. So if a broom touches your feet, do not dishonor it. It's actually okay.
See?
It's okay in the Hindu culture for
that's
the broom
cool
to touch your feet, because that's goddess Lakshmi blessing your feet, taking the dust, taking the dregs and dust away from your body.
I like that.
Yeah. So a broom is considered a sacred utility in an Indian household. In rural India, it is the first thing that a lady of the house picks up at the break of dawn to clean the courtyard and porch. Called by names like Jadu or Buhari, etc., it is regarded as feminine and often associated with the goddess of wealth. Besides being an indispensable tool of daily use, a broom also has religious significance. In, I think this is Jainism, Jainism. Jainism. Monks and nuns keep a broom with them to keep out insects and animals from their paths as they walk. It prevents killing them unconsciously and is considered as an act of nonviolence. Goddess Shitala, worshipped in Hinduism and Buddhism and some tribal cultures, holds a broom in her right hand. She is a goddess associated with smooth transition of seasons and property. In some cultures, brooms are used by tantric healers to cure psychic problems against the symbolism of warding off. The symbolism of warding off mental dirt.
I love that it's like, I'm going to carry the broom and sweep it so I don't step on any critters.
Isn't that cute?
That's cute.
So for an object as simple as a broom, Indian craft communities have come up with more than 100 varieties utilizing different plant species and construction techniques found vernacularly. India is home to 537 Aboriginal tribe communities, and every community has their long-established methods of living in harmony with surroundings by valuing, preserving, and using wild forest resources to their benefit. Several wasteland species and seasonal grasses are used for making brooms, and in some regions, waste of harvest, fine twigs, hay, straw, and plant leaves are also used. So brooms are a pretty big part of Hindu culture. Crazy how much stuff I found on that. There was even like a whole section of like how they make the brooms, like the whole process. And then this also snowballed me into brooms and Sicilian culture. So I was like, I can't do my husband's culture and not do my culture.
Not do yours? Okay, cool.
So this is the broom in the Sicilian culture. There's something called the legend of La Befana. And in Sicily, this legend takes place on January 6th, which is considered Epiphany Eve. Isn't that a cool like holiday? Epiphany Eve.
I like it.
Isn't it mysterious? So it is said that the old witch named La Befana hops on her broom to deliver sweets to children. This is like the Sicilian Santa Claus. It's a woman.
It sounds like it.
I'm freaking
Does
love it.
Befana mean anything particular?
I think it might say a little further into this.
Okay.
I don't remember what Befana means, but so she's basically the Sicilian strega nonna Santa Claus. Like she's like an old Italian grandmother, and I think it's hilarious that an old Italian nonna would be the Santa Claus.
I know, she's pulling little candies out of her pockets covered in lint.
So basically in this legend, the children wake up on January 6th to find a stocking full of goodies. So naughty children, however, will only find coal left behind, kind of like our tradition of Santa Claus here in the United States. And luckily for them, these days, there is also coal-shaped candy to get the message across in a much sweeter way.
How about that?
Children who aren't behaving also get a little sweet treat. It's just like, okay, it's shaped like coal. Maybe next year you'll do better. So being a nice old witch, it says, albeit not much to look at, because La Befana is portrayed as an old Sega Sicilian grandmother. She's also said to sweep the floor for you. So in
Oh.
exchange, you are required to leave out a little glass of wine for her.
Oh, I want to be a La Befana.
How Sicilian is that? Just like, no, I don't want milk. I want wine.
I love that.
No milk and cookies for me. Wine only. And maybe those little, what do they call those? Little panettone cakes. So
super cute.
Yeah. So La Befana is said to have been doing her housework when the three wise men passed by her house. Being that she was in the middle of cleaning, she did not go with them.
Oh.
So once her chores were completed, however, she went looking for the three wise men and baby Jesus to give him a gift. Not having found him, she continues to visit each house, leaving gifts along the way, hoping to leave a gift for baby Jesus.
How sweet.
Yeah. As with any special day in Italy, it's a day when Italian families gather for special lunch. A plate of delicious homemade traditional Italian recipes passed down through the generations. And this is what I just said. Dessert is often panettone, traditional Italian Christmas cake that are given as gifts with a bottle of Spumante sparkling wine, which most Italian homes will have left over for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah. So La Befana marks the official end of the festival season. In the afternoon or the next day, the Christmas decorations are put away until the next year. Shops are usually closed in preparation for the post-Christmas sales that commence the day after. And there's also a little song about La Befana, and it translates to La Befana comes in the night with shoes all broken, carrying a sack full of gifts to give good kids. And there's a little song. I linked the YouTube video here. So there is a La Befana show. I don't know if you've ever been to Disney World around Christmas time.
No.
But so the Epcot Park, which is like, it has like all the different countries. You go around to all the different countries and experience all the cultures. And there is a little La Befana show in the courtyard in Disney's.
What?
Yeah, in the Epcot Italy portion of the park, they do a little La Befana show, which is a lot of fun. We went around Christmas time. I think the year me and Avi got married, we went on a little mini moon to Disney, and we went to the Epcot Park and we saw the La Befana show, and I was able to take a picture with
How sweet.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with this tradition?
I did not. I don't know why. Like, I've never heard of it before. I went to Disney. I actually heard about it at Disney. I was like, why didn't anybody tell me this story growing up?
That is so cute.
Yeah. So that's the La Befana.
What's this like YouTube? But what does that say? La Befana van di notte?
She comes at night.
Oh.
Yeah. So Vien is come and di notte is of the night. So yeah, La Befana comes at nighttime, it says. So that's the legend of La Befana.
I want to look up what Befana means. Because I'd only heard of the Stregonona in Australia. All I'd ever heard of.
I did hear Stregonona growing up. Like, my mom would read that book to me all the time. But I'm like, it reminds me a lot of Stregonona, the La Befana tradition. So I'm like, I'm surprised I heard of Stregonona, but not La Befana.
She's the underdog, man. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
So hopefully this podcast helped blow up La Befana.
Yeah. I don't think there's an actual translation of the actual word Befana. I think that's the name of the witch. Because I'm looking up, I put in Google search, what does Befana mean in Italian? And it just says, in Italian folklore, La Befana is a witch who brings good children treats on the morning of the Epiphany, which is January 6th. So I don't know. I don't think there is an actual translation of the actual word Befana. I think La Befana is just the name of the witch. Okie dokie. All right. So Kristina's going to tell us about some brooms in Slavic culture, which is your Croatian culture, right?
It is. I was like, oh, dang, I wonder if we have any. Because growing up, we didn't have any broom superstitions or anything. But I was like, there has to be for sure. So this is our last little section. Then we'll let y'all take a break. But in full honor, I'm so blown away at the Hindu, like how it's like such a big thing in their culture. But for a lot of different reasons, their beliefs is like, it's okay to get swept. Go get yourself swept. Amazing. And that in your Sicilian culture, it's like this La Befana is such a good thing. I don't think in Slavic culture it's necessarily that.
Uh-oh. What do you have to share with us? I can't wait to hear
We
this.
have a couple other like folktale-y kind of entities that pop up. But in honor of the Slavic culture that my Croatian side comes from, I found this art. It was one post by somebody named Magpie, aka Olga Stanton. It was actually a Facebook post. It was like all one big thing. And since personally I don't have any specific Croatian, connection
Nothing-
with brooms. I
nothing
wanted
that
to
you
share
grew-
what she had to say.
Nothing that you grew up with, right? Anyway.
Correct. And I didn't know that there were so many like differences. So in Slavic language, there are 3 different kinds of brooms. So the actual broomstick, the metla, metla, but it's written out in Cyrillic. So growing up, I had always heard that Russian is the closest comparison to Croatian, which is kind of cool. So the metla is used to like sweep the yard rather than the house. A bad, quote unquote, bad pagan broom is also used in ritual cleansings and banishings. So the metla is more for like outside use. Then they have a short flat broom used in Eastern Slavic, the Eastern Slavic women use in housekeeping called a venyik. This venyik is made out of twigs and leaves. And usually this is used in Russian banyas, which is a sauna, Russian saunas, which seems like a rabbit hole to go down. I was like, what?
Ooh.
So a venyik is a special like massage flat broom.
Okay. So it's like the body sweeping type deal?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
So then they have a pomelo. And this was when I translated this. So they have hashtag Bisum. When I translated this, it came up witch's broom. So I'm guessing a pomelo is like, so what they had to say is a bundle of sticks or twigs held on a stick or without it that is used to sweep the coals from a stove. All 3 of these are equally known in the Slavic culture as well as traditional witchcraft. Aside from the mundane uses, brooms are also used as protective charms and offerings to the domovoi, talismans, and of course magical tools. So the domovoi spelled a few different ways. Sometimes it's with a O-I at the end. Sometimes it's O-J. Sometimes it ends in O-Y. So the domovoi is a house spirit in pre-Christian Slavic mythology. And he's a being that kind of lives in or behind the hearth or the stove of Slavic homes, and it protects the inhabitants from harm. So it sounds to me like a dobby, like a house elf kind of creature.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, but like if you look up pictures, definitely not cute. That's what I'm saying. Like the connection, what I'm going to talk about in a little while, like the connection with the Slavic. Why are all Slavic entities fucking scary as shit?
They are.
So the Slavic people don't have any strict guidelines regarding the material of which the broom needs to be made. It's just about intent, and that's going to be the most important thing, even today. Materials are chosen based upon the purpose of the future broom. So for instance, the Vanyik broom is made of the elytria, and that's a common grass. This possesses powerful banishing properties and is therefore used in banishing and personal purification rituals. So we have juniper brooms, which we kind of mentioned earlier. I was like, oh my God, that would smell amazing. Juniper brooms are famous in Slavic witchcraft for their ability to banish malevolent spirits like the kikimora from a house.
What is the kikimora?
I was just going to say, I should have like expanded on what the kikimora is, but I know there are other podcasts that expand on that a little more. So I didn't include anything.
Okay.
So a broom made from birch twigs, the metla or the venyek, is a very common tool that is used for household cleaning. Rowan and pine sticks make perfect broom handles for brooms. These brooms attract things into one's life, such as love, money, etc. And these are made from donor trees, such as apple, oak, or maple. I had never heard of a donor tree.
Yeah. What is that?
What is that?
No idea.
Didn't expand on that. So the magical pomelo that Slavic wise women use to sweep, quote unquote, sweep out a passage into another world is traditionally made out of fresh wormwood or mugwort fir and juniper twigs that are all collected on an appropriate moon phase with a special chant.
Do you wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Can I just I don't mean to interject here, but do you think that because wormwood and mugwort are very hallucinogenic, those are like herbs, I think, with a very hallucinogenic qualities. So do you think by using these things while chanting for the moon phases, do you think that it has brought people into some kind of transcendental state while using?
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
Have
maybe.
you ever heard of the dancing madness?
Wait, what?
There's a thing called the dancing madness. Oh, there's also, dude, I was watching True Blood, and there's like a whole like Dionysian cult sect that they, they just, okay, we're getting off topic. But I agree. I think you're onto something there.
All right. All right, go on. Sorry.
So these, the pomelos that we were just discussing with the wormwood, mugwort, juniper, etc., these are activated afterward by sweeping the coals out of wood stoves, which is interesting. It wouldn't catch fire. Maybe the coals have to be.
I'm thinking
cold.
by activated, meaning that maybe the benefits and the maybe not benefit. I don't know if that's the right word. The cause of these the pomelo being activated, that's when the hallucinogenic properties come out of these, I guess, herbs or whatever they're using.
I wonder, because if it is hot coals, I wonder if it's like doing like a smoke cleanse in your house. Yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
Exactly. So when these brushes of wormwood and mugwort are activated by the sweeping coals, once they touch those hot coals, I would assume, it's kind of like a smoke, and that smoke probably gets them high as fuck, and they're probably like all sorts of shit. So smart. I'm just connecting the dots here.
You are. I like it a lot. All right. Where am I?
All right.
So the best personal purification brooms for banyas, so those saunas, are made a day before the summer solstice. And so I'm guessing these saunas are like a big deal. So they are made the day before the summer solstice of twigs from 8 different trees. So we got birch, linden, ronin, chokecherry, black currant, willow, alder, and viburnum. Viburnum.
Also,
Gilder rose tree. Okay.
I'm kind of like looking at this whole sentence right here, and I'm like, that sounds a lot like the description of all the woods that Maria used to build her house. Right? Didn't she build it out of like all different kinds of woods? Like
all different kinds.
All right, cool.
Viburnum. Okay. Or simply out of birch and oak twigs with stinging nettle added. Small brooms made of straw or pine needles are good for sprinkling holy water and other liquids. So back to dipping your broom bristles into something. It's almost like you were raised kind of Catholic. You ever been blessed with the holy water and they sprinkle that shit on you?
Yep.
There you go. So the time and season at which the twigs and branches were collected was also very important. So broom handles are supposed to be cut on Thunder Day or Thursday. Most twigs are collected on Kupala Eve. So Kupala night is also called Ivana Kupala, and this is the traditional Slavic holiday that was originally celebrated as their shortest night of the year.
So that would also be the winter solstice, right?
So it's their shortest night of the year. I think it's their summer solstice. So longest day, shortest night.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So this was allowed on at that time of year or after it, but they couldn't do it before. So some recommend cutting twigs for magical brooms in early spring before the buds start to quicken. So you want that, go get me a switch thin, no flowers, no buds, kind of little sapling. So here we got some of the mythological entities or creatures that are associated with brooms. The biggest one that I know of that I love her to pieces is the Baba Yaga. And we could do a whole thing about her. So the Magick, which I had never heard of. And then we have that domovoy back again. Even though the Baba Yaga doesn't ride on her broomstick, she usually rides around in her mortar and pestle. She always keeps her broom nearby in order to cover her tracks. The Magick is known to live in a banya, so that sauna, hidden under a pile of banya brooms or simply behind a singular broom, which I find really funny. Like he's just holding the broom in front of him, not hiding from shit.
Did I understand this correctly? Wait, she doesn't ride a broomstick. She rides a mortar and a pestle. She rides in a mortar and a pestle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's riding in it, and it looks like she's holding the pestles, the phallic part, right, as like her rudder.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So then lastly, we have the domovoy, who's afraid of sweeping. But occasionally we'll hide behind brooms leaned against walls, which is kind of giving me that vibe of like the Hat Man hiding behind the door.
Oh yeah.
You know, so a small decorative broom, the domovushka, is also given to the domovoi as an offering. Traditionally, a broom is stored with its sweeping part facing up. Oh, hey, there we go. So
Okay.
Slavs believe that in this position, the broom also serves as a protective charm, especially if placed near the front door. Mine's at the back door. I don't have all these brooms lying around, but I think I'm going to get one for the front door.
You know what? I think I'm gonna put, because at this point I have 2 brooms on my front porch. The one that I got from Home Depot that I was telling you about, and the one that I made of the yarrow. I think I'm gonna put my Home Depot one at the back door.
There you go.
Actually, I have a cinnamon broom hung up by my back door already. But I might do the stand-up broom in the corner as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
I need to get another one. A small cross made out of 2 pine needles or thorns from hawthorn or blackthorn, tied together with red thread, can be hidden among the broom's twigs in order to intensify the protective properties. I like that a lot. I really like that. We have a hawthorn tree
You
in the
do?
neighbor's yard. Yeah.
Those are the ones with the little red berries and the really pointy thorns on it, right?
Yes.
And it
Dude,
blooms
so
with those white flowers.
yes.
So there's a legend. I don't know. Have you ever heard of this legend with the fairies? Like if there's a hawthorn, like if there's a lone hawthorn alone, like on a hill,
Yeah.
it's said to be the portal to the fairy world.
Oh, don't fuck with that. No,
Yeah,
no.
I think there's also a legend that says like kids that used to go missing or have said like to go to that tree and have been kidnapped through that fairy portal.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Well, mine is in my neighbor Tom's yard, so I'm just going to go ask him.
You're like, excuse me, sir, have any children gone missing on your property?
Cool.
Yeah,
I really like that a lot.
Yeah, I did some research on the hawthorn tree because I was doing some apothecary labels a couple of years ago for my Bohemian Magic. I used to do like apothecary label packs, and I had to do research a little bit on all the different herbs I put in the packs. And I remember
Sick.
like I did the research for that one, and that's like the one thing that stood out at me. I was like, oh, this tree looks so cool. I've never seen one in person.
Okay.
I don't know if we have them around here. I've never seen one in person.
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
No, that's awesome. Very cool. So we're going to scoot on to superstitions in the Slavic world. I hope I really pronounced those words and didn't embarrass my family.
Sounded right.
I
to me.
pronounced
But what the hell,
them correctly.
What the hell do I know?
So some superstitions in Slavic culture is that if a girl desperately wants to find herself a husband, she's going to want to jump back and forth across a broom 9 times.
Wow.
Now, whether that's like one jump is 1, or if it's like back and forth 1, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was not specified. So another is most brooms, except for the ones used in healing rituals, were never supposed to be used to whip children or domestic animals. So children were believed to stop growing if beaten with a household broom.
Oh God, it's horrible.
Oh God, I know. Old brooms could not be disposed of at any place where people or animals could step on them by accident. Oh, interesting. They also were not allowed to be burnt in a stove, as it was believed to attract natural disasters, household pets, and domestic arguments. I wonder if that's because you're putting, again, that energy and creating one thing from a solid to an air, and all that smoke is going back into your house, all that energy you swept up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's going back into your house. And the last one I have here is, as brooms do tend to accumulate negativity over time, especially those used for cleansing and banishing, it makes perfect sense that they need a little extra care when being disposed of.
Dude, I can't wait to do my little ritual now. Like when the next summer comes along and I have a new bushel of yarrow to do my whole
Yeah.
I cannot wait to do that now.
I know, man. I can't believe we just went into fall and we're doing brooms. I'm
know.
excited to
We
redo my broom.
should have saved this for like a spring cleaning episode.
That's
It's fine.
okay.
Now you're all prepared. Now you have the information. You could do it in the spring.
Yeah.
Do it then.
So some rituals, some Slavic rituals tied to brooms, they're pretty diverse, it sounds like. So the flat brooms were used in weather magic, and this was in order to summon or banish rain. The kolyandik venyik, a broom that was used to sweep the floor on Sviatiki.
Sounds right.
Sviatiki is the 12 magical days after Christmas. This was used in Christmas divinations. Dude, that's witchy as shit. Is this, at this time, do you think they're Christianized? Is this still going? That seems very witchy to me.
Sure. Well, let's just put it out there that a lot of the Christian traditions was stolen from the pagans.
Mhm.
A lot of what Christians and Catholics and Christians do is very, very witchy.
Yeah.
They just try to sweep, no pun intended, they sweep that part under the rug.
That's right.
They try to sweep away, the origins of it. And
if they're celebrating Christmas, they're about it. They're about Christmas.
Well, yeah, that's Yule though. That was also from pagan tradition. So everything originated from pagan.
From the cunning folk.
Exactly, from those cunning folk. From what do they call? What does Alice Hoffman say? The unnamed art.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Let me redo that word. It's Svietki.
Okay.
Svietki. Okay. Throw that one in there because I think I was adding an N.
That sounds right.
Okay. A vianyaki was usually used to sweep up after a death in the family. This was used after the funeral ritual. So again, like you said, sweeping up after any passing in the home. Because like we talked about in the Death Watch Beetle, it wasn't passing away in hospitals. It was usually in your house.
Right. But I just quickly want to interject here. So in the last book, the Book of Magic, they actually do the whole sweeping ritual right before Jet dies to prepare for her, to prepare for her death. And it also says to sweep away and get away any of the cobwebs in case the deceased has any secrets that they don't want for guests to see. They sweep everything before the funeral procession. So I guess after in the Owens family tradition, it seems the house is cleaned and swept after the person passes away and before the family comes over to, I guess, mourn.
Wow.
So yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Cool, dude. So a few more. So one, broomsticks and flat brooms were used in rituals that banished illnesses from village, such as circle plowing cholera. I'd never heard of that before. Flat and banya brooms were also commonly used in traditional healing practices. Magical pomelos, aside from quote unquote sweeping out passages between the worlds and creating portals, was also used in fire magic. So this was preventing wildfires, circling burning areas so that the fire would not spread any further, which is really interesting. So practical. Flat brooms were often used in fertility rituals. The mistress would whip a cow with a birch broom and helping get it all ready to go and mate. So leading it to mate. Fruit trees were beaten with the brooms in order to yield a lot of fruit. During the first release of the cattle into the pasture after winter, the cattle was sprinkled with water from the broom as well. Women hopping around the field on broomsticks or pokers this was, I guess, taken as part of the ancient fertility ritual, promoting growth. In household magic, ritual actions with a broom were performed if something in the house wasn't going right. This is really interesting. This reminds me a lot of the very beginning of practical magic, when it's like, if a baby was born with a red birthmark stamped, if a cow gave bloody milk, this is what it reminds me of.
This is basically the Salem witch trials. Like that was a real deal. Like if a person looked at you the wrong way and their crops died the next day, you were a fucking witch.
You were screwed. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a very real thing and like a real reason why people were persecuted.
Right.
I don't know if these things go back to the burning times, but I know as far as the Salem witch trials go, they looked for any little reason to call somebody a witch.
You were like, your eyes were clenched, your brow was furrowed, and you were just shaking your head like, I've been there.
Really, that was me in a past life.
That's sorry, I got off topic. But so the brooms were used in household magic. If something wasn't going right, like if butter was churning poorly or threads were torn or tangled when you were weaving or bread was not baking well, you could use a broom to help turn that around. During a house fire, an old broom or pomelo was carried around the burning area. And a point that she was also trying to make was any ritual action with these brooms was performed by a woman. Slavic wise males, however, preferred to use staves. So I guess they could do a similar ritual. However, they weren't using brooms, they were using staves. And a stave is a narrow length of wood with a slightly beveled edge to form. Usually I've heard it as like the sides how barrels are made. So the wooden planks that make barrels or tanks. But throughout the ages, brooms were used in Slavic feminine magic and rituals for attracting or banishing. A common broom, if made or purchased with a specific intent, may become a magical talisman, a protective charm, and a very important ritual tool used in household fertility and healing magic. So there you go.
Wow, that's
There we go. I hope
Yeah.
y'all learned some new words today.
No, what was that one? Domovoy. I like
A
that one.
domovoy. I like that one too. There was another one in here. The domovushka. Oh, the domovushka was given to the domovoy as an offering.
Babushka.
Babushka. So we're gonna take, I think, another little break right here and tell us what we're gonna do when we come back.
We will talk about brooms and marriage traditions from around the world. And we're going to share an excerpt from the Practical Magic issue 40 of Fairy magazine, as well as chat a little bit about how brooms are used in magic by modern witches today. So we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Magnolia Street Podcast.
Okay, so welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. So now we're going to jump right into brooms and marriage superstitions from other cultures around the world.
You did a broom jump at your wedding, right?
I did. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, we did we also did a Halloween, I guess you could say a hollow wedding.
A hollow wedding.
At
That's
a hollow
cute.
wedding. So we did like a mixture of a bunch of different cultures and traditions at our wedding.
Yeah.
Not only having to do with brooms, but we did like a bunch of different traditions. Like we pay tribute to the elements. We did like, I don't know if it has a specific name, but we did a Hindu tradition where they do like they take the steps around each other or something like that.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I guess it represents like the steps through life. That was really beautiful. Our officiant, she kind of came up with this like spider web ritual. I think we talk about that a little bit on a
Yeah, but you can repeat it so other people know. It sounds amazing. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, so our officiant basically, she came up with this like really unique spider web tradition, and the web kind of like symbolized everybody who was there at our ceremony. They kind of all represented the people in our lives who kind of create this web of community and support. Like if you need support in your life, those are all the people there, all the people that mean a lot to us. So she kind of came up with this concept where she tied like a little string. She had like this big ball of like, I guess, yarn or string or whatever, and it started on one end, and everybody would tie a little piece around their finger, pass it on to the next person, and by the time it made its way across the room, everybody was instructed to put their hands up like this, and it just like cast a little spider web over the entire room.
Wow.
And it was really cool. And she came up with that, and we were like blown away by how unique and creative the whole thing was. So
I think we had done so a friend of mine, we gave her a blessing way. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like it's like almost like a baby shower.
okay.
But it's like a pagan baby shower basically. But we kind of did the same thing, but we wrapped it one time around all the women's wrists all the way around in a circle, and it was like a red twine of some kind. It was like, we are all connected, like by blood, like we are all connected in some way. And I remember that being super powerful, and I can't even imagine, and that was maybe like 12 people, but I can't imagine like a whole wedding guest party. That's pretty amazing.
Was definitely very cool and unique. I've never seen anything like that before in my life, and we got so many compliments on it from everybody who attended the ceremony, so it was really, really nice.
To add something to that ritual for the blessing way, after all the women had tied their things, then we passed around scissors, and you would cut the one side, pass it, and the next person would cut their side, and you would tie it off on your wrist, and you weren't supposed to take it off until the mama gave birth, which I thought was so cool. So like once you got the news that the mama gave birth, you could take your your string off your arm. And that was so sweet.
Then what do you do with it once you take it off?
We had a candle in their honor. I don't remember if it was a certain color, but you could tie the little string around the candle, do with it what you wanted, but it was to celebrate them. It was really pretty.
So cool.
Yeah. But we're talking about weddings.
Oh, right. Okay. So this is just a list of stuff that I guess people have done for their weddings having to do with brooms throughout history in different cultures from all around the world. So I guess we'll start with the Welsh culture. A broom is placed. What is that word? Aslan?
A slant?
Slant? I'm thinking Aslan, like the
Aslan.
from Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. His name's Aslan.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah. You never saw that movie? or read the book?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God.
I know what it is. We never saw. I think that was past my like my preteen, like when you would normally watch it.
Okay.
I didn't watch
I
it.
remember reading that book in like elementary school. You never read the book? Well,
Did you go to a Catholic school though? Because there was no witchcraft in Catholic school.
yeah, no, I did not go to a Catholic school. I remember reading it in 4th grade.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So anyway, a broom is placed aslant in the doorway of the cottage, and this is the Welsh tradition. It is used as a holy symbol of matrimony. The bride and groom jumped over the broom into the house. Oh wait,
Bridegroom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bridegroom.
Bridegroom. It's like an old timey way to say groom.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
So the bridegroom jumped over the broom into the house, followed by the bride. Got it.
Who's on first? Holy shit.
My brain just broke. Okay. If either of them touched the broom, the doorpost, or moved the broom, the marriage was void. Can you imagine?
What pressure is that?
The object of the broom jumping ceremony was a public setting apart of the couple for the purpose of childbearing and was interpreted as partnership, not ownership.
Mm-hmm.
To get a divorce, the couple just jumps back over the broom handle, only this time they jump backwards. And that's from 1683, Curiog Valley Wallace. I guess that's the source.
Wales?
Oh my God.
William Wallace? She's dying right now. The mic's not picking it up.
Why did my brain go there?
Because it's 8:00 at night now.
Dude, it's been a long fucking day. I can't.
We took a 6-hour break. This is what we're coming back to. 1683 Wallace.
We've been recording all day. We started at what time this morning? Like 10 o'clock. And we're still going. We did take a break in between, but like in between,
a whole day happened.
A whole day happened. So now my brain is mush.
I love this. I love that it's you this time and not me.
Wallace, what the fuck?
That's okay. We're good. We're good. That's interesting that it's like, hey, no harm, no foul. Just put that broom back where I was, jump backwards. Don't touch the door. You're good. No hard feelings.
Could you imagine if like getting a divorce nowadays was that fucking easy where you could just jump backwards? People would be jumping over brooms left
and right. Yes. Yep.
Anyway, oh God, I apologize. I feel like
you're fine.
All right, so are we still on Welsh?
It's bullet point number 2.
Okay, I don't know if this is still Welsh, but this says, as sure as comes your wedding day, a broom to you I'll send. In sunshine, use the brushy part. In storm, the other end. And that's from 1887. There's no source or origin for that one. That's a cute little, I guess, I don't know, is that like a wives' tale or some kind of little, it's like a little poem.
Let me see if I can Google that real quick.
The next group, this seems like it all stems from, I guess, Europe, and these are all very short and sweet, and these kind of are in line with all the stuff that we were saying earlier. So Italy, when a broom falls, someone will marry. Germany, if you drop a broom, you will get married the same day next year. A broom laid in a doorway would detain a witch from entering a cottage, for a witch would not cross over objects without first numbering the parts, and counting all the fibers of a broom would slow her progress. I've never heard of that. Oh,
I've never heard of that either.
That's still from Wales, aka Wallace.
Wallace. So I Googled the that as sure as your wedding day comes thing, but it was slowing down my internet and it was like crackling you. So I was like hoping that didn't pick up on the recording, but it said 1887 in Italian little rhyme.
That's an Italian origin, that little poem?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So in Ireland, stand a broom upside down and you'll marry soon. Lithuania, if you step over a broom handle, there will be no proposal this year.
Oh.
Yeah. So West African country of Ghana. In the 18th century, brooms were waved over the heads of marrying couples to ward off spirit. The couple would often, but not always, jump over the broom at the end of the ceremony. Jumping over the broom symbolized the wife's commitment or willingness to clean the courtyard of the new home she had joined. Furthermore, it expressed her overall commitment to the house. It also represented the determination of who ran the household. Whoever jumped highest over the broom could be the decision maker of the household.
Oh shit.
Usually the man. The jumping of the broom does not add up to taking a quote leap of faith. In the 21st century, many African and African American couples include jumping the broom at the end of their wedding ceremonies, and even couples who do not actually jump a broom when they get married often refer to, or at least recognize, the phrase to be synonymous with getting married in the same way most Americans associate tying the knot with getting married. In the United States, and that that source is from African American Registry, aaregistry.org. Then in the United States, if a wife sweeps a circle around her husband, it will keep him eternally true to her. Didn't
We had that before.
Yeah, we talked about the circle sweeping before too.
I got to go do that to my husband tonight. While he's sleeping, I'll just do it around the bed.
He'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's used to it.
He's used to it. Do you sweep circles around him or just do random shit?
Random.
Yeah. If a single person wishes to marry, they should never let anyone sweep a circle around them. So that's kind of like on the opposite end of the spectrum. If a family changes residences, do not leave the broom behind, not even if it's old.
Weird. Okay, that's a different one.
It is weird because before they were saying just throw it out, right? If you're moving the house, if you're moving from house to house and it's a cleaning broom, just throw it out. But for magical purposes, you could take the broom with you. I think we established before. So then in brooms, okay, by the way, I'm just realizing now that this is not all marriage stuff, right? Not all of this is marriage stuff. This says brooms bought in May sweep the family away.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, so I guess if you're trying to have a family, don't buy a broom in May.
Or if you're trying to distance yourself from that toxic ass family, go ahead and buy that broom.
I guess that could be taken a couple different ways, right? However you want to look at it. It is bad luck to step over a broom, but good luck to accidentally walk under one. That's weird. Because usually like the whole walk under, like if you walk under a ladder, that's considered bad luck, right?
Yeah, but we just talked about, so over the break, the 6-hour break, Justina and I was like, I have an extra broom. I'm going to go hang it above my front door on the outside. So now I'm like, oh, cool. And I was just going to lean it outside the door with the bristles down to catch all the baddies, like you said, but that thing went above my door. So that's good that's good luck to walk under it. So I have one out the back door, one out the front door now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if you place a broom on the floor, it will indicate to your guests that they have stayed long enough. And that kind of goes with what we were saying before, like get them out, just like sweep after them, just like get the fuck out of my house.
That just is like bad. Okay, so I'm gonna share. I don't think they're gonna listen to this podcast, but my neighbors, I love them so much. And this past Christmas, they usually go to the man's daughter's house. The story is that the daughter didn't put the vacuum away. The vacuum was in the middle of the house. So they were like, this year, we're having it at our house. We're going to do this right. So apparently, maybe she was witchcrafting the hell out of them, leaving the vacuum in the middle of the house to signify, maybe I don't want you here.
Oh.
This could be here nor there, but I just thought that was pretty funny.
I like how they were like super offended at the vacuum being left out though. Like,
I know. I get it.
Yeah.
Please continue, darling.
All right. So it is bad luck to move a broom because a new house needs a new broom. Like,
this is copied and pasted. We can get rid of this.
All right. Just delete all this.
We have so much lore, and these are all from different sources. But let's talk about broomsticks as protection. Despite their negative connotation, as we talked about, it's a great way to protect your space. So some of the protection recommendations, this comes from stormbornwitch.tumblr.com. So they say to cross a broomstick and a spade outside your front door to protect against lightning strikes. Dude, oh my gosh. So the first year, I don't think our house is grounded properly. And the first summer storms, I love the thunder out here because it's just rolling and crackling is crazy. However, it was also making our outlets in the kitchen like spark and like crackle and pop. It was so scary.
Holy crap.
So I got to go get me a broomstick and a spade to put outside the front door.
Yeah, that's scary.
It is scary. So we can also put a small broom under the pillows of your children to protect them while they sleep. That might be in the way. You can put it under the bed.
Yeah.
Under the bed. Hang a broomstick on the bedroom door to sweep away nightmares. That's like a pagan dream catcher there.
Yeah.
Cross 2 brooms and hang them on the door to guard the house. That I think nowadays would just be intimidating to a lot, especially in the South. Like a lot of people just deliver, like UPS delivery men. I'm curious.
Crossed on the door like that.
Exactly. You could put 2 broomsticks across a doorway if you want to speak to your dearly departed. They'll be able to communicate as long as you leave the broom where it is. I'd never heard that. Had you?
No, that's
And
illegal.
you can also lay a broom across the doorway to keep evil out.
Yeah, that's kind
So-
of like the whole spiel, like how we talked about before with leaving the broom on the porch to keep stuff from passing over your threshold.
So some old wives' tales I have for you are to toughen new broom bristles so they will last longer. Dip them in hot salt water before using. I'd never heard that either. So you can test a new broom by pressing the edges against the floor. If the straw bristles out and bends, the broom is a poor one. If the broom is good, the bristles will remain in a solid, firm mass. If brooms are wet in hot, soapy water when new and hung to dry, they will wear much longer. Tie strands of a new broom together and soak them in boiling water for 2 hours to lengthen its usefulness. So I'm wondering, adding that salt water, bada bing, bada boom, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
So boiling salt water, put that broom inside. So some broom oddities I have for you is that in the late 1800s, society women performed a broom drill as a fundraiser for those less fortunate. I can't wait to read this. Jesus Christ, I haven't read this yet. So men bought admission tickets to watch as a drill company of 8, 16, or 32 young ladies performed. That's a big range. Each woman carried a broom on her shoulder. We just learned that's bad luck. And, and performed Your face is cracking me up.
What am I doing?
Nothing. All right. Each woman carried a broom on her shoulder and performed precise steps of a drill taught to them by a soldier. Some tied a wide ribbon on the handle. Many times at the end of the drill, the young ladies sold their brooms to the bachelors in the audience for a high price for charity, of course. That sounds like that bit of basket festival in the Gilmore Girls. I don't know if you remember that, but it's like you fill up an Easter basket with goodies and they auction it off. A broom drill. I've never heard of it.
No, I never heard of that before.
Also in World War II, if they fired all their torpedoes successfully, the submarine crew would tie a broom to the conning tower. Tie a broom to the conning tower when arriving in port to signify a clean sweep. That's cool.
Dang, never heard
Now
of that.
what's the conning tower? Probably the highest point of the submarine.
I guess so. I don't know.
Okay. So my grandfather, who lived in the Tudor house that we talked about, used to be one of the deep sea divers in the Navy with the huge helmets on it, with the big like circle porthole. Oh, I don't know how he did that. That's one of my worst fears.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Here we go. We got good advice for you. When sweeping, use alternate sides and corners of the broom so that it will wear evenly. And always hang your broom up after use. I guess I'll have to start hanging up my broom.
I know. I don't do that.
I'm so bad.
I think I'm fucked.
Storm-born Witches Tumblr had an addenda to add after this. They say, in New England, it is said that brooms which fall over on their own means unexpected company. So I bet you they read Practical Magic.
Probably.
Sweeping out the house on St. Bridget's Day, September 2nd, is supposed to... Oh,
February.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. Sorry. What did I say?
September.
Oh, God damn.
It's been a day.
It's fine. We're getting through it.
Okay.
They say that sweeping out of your house on St. Bridget's Day on February 2nd is supposed to remove all of the lingering bad luck from the previous year and allow the household to start fresh. So I'm wondering if like you really want to meld all of these things together, don't clean from New Year's Eve to February 2nd. Is what they're saying.
My Virgo ascending ass could not go a whole month of no cleaning. Fuck that.
Yeah, that sounds really rough.
That sounds like torture.
So a broom of willow and rowan twigs hung over the door keeps trouble and thieves away. I don't think I've ever seen a rowan tree. Do you know what one looks like?
They have like those little red berries and the leaves are kind of like, they look like a fern a little bit. It's like one long strand and then like a bunch of little leaves protruding out of that one stem.
Pretty. I'll have to look it up.
They are really pretty.
And lastly, what I have for you for this good advice is cinnamon brooms commonly available in craft stores are symbols of good luck and will help you keep money coming in and family quarrels to a minimum. And you can get those cinnamon brooms fucking anywhere these days. CVS even has them.
I have them at Home Depot.
Home Depot. Yep. Just don't let my cats love to chew on shit they should not. So remember when I marked you and I was like, Odin is eating that pepper plant?
Yeah.
I brought the pepper. It's fucking banana peppers. Brought it inside. Literally 2 minutes later, he threw it up.
Oh.
So don't let your cats eat them brooms.
Surprisingly, my cats have not touched the cinnamon broom that I have sitting by the front door, but knock on wood, because now that I said that, then now they're gonna fucking be all over it.
Good luck. Good luck. Awesome. So that's what I have for you for that little section.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on to Straw and Gold, which is a fairy magazine article. And this also comes from issue 40, which is the Practical Magic issue. And again, fairy magazine changed to, was it Enchanted Living, right?
It is. So real quick, that Enchanted Living, if you go, they have a few different like drop down tabbies, but if you go to writing and you type in the search bar Brooms, there are so many other articles that amazing writers have contributed to. So I really recommend this site. It has so much stuff if you're in the magical persuasion.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know. I think I'm going to do that. Explore
Tell
more.
me what this Straw of Gold says.
All right. So yes, so this is from the Practical Magic issue. And this article is by Stephanie Stewart Howard. Wait, so is this by Stephanie Stewart Howard or is it Charlotte Baker? Because it says Stephanie Stewart Howard asks Charlotte Baker.
Stephanie is interviewing Charlotte Baker, who is the creator, artisan of that Nightshade Handmade. So she's interviewing Charlotte.
Got it. Okay. So Charlotte Baker, the enchantress and artisan behind Nightshade Handmade, she asks Charlotte, what is meaningful to you these days about the crafting of a broom? And Charlotte says, it's the preservation and continuation of a nearly lost art. There are only about 150 broom makers in the country. We're all on an internet forum, so we all basically know each other, and not all of them make their brooms entirely by hand. I love coaxing the personality of an interesting piece of wood I found and adding a broom to it to create a piece of art that's also a functional tool. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sounds like she's saying like the broom part is just the bristle part.
Okay. I wasn't sure if the grammar in that was a little funky. I don't know if it sounded like a complete sentence.
You're fine. It sounds good to me.
All right. So,
but I've also had a beer and a wine. So,
all right. So a handmade broom is the perfect blend of form and function. When I make a commissioned broom, I strive to personalize it by using twine in the recipient's favorite color and using a handle that seems to fit his or her personality. The simple act of creating art with my own hands is profoundly satisfying and meaningful. There's a magical significance to Baker's brooms. She says, in some modern witchcraft traditions, brooms are used to purify ritual space by sweeping it clear of negativity. That's sympathetic magic in its purest form. Brooms can be used more aggressively in banishing rituals. The purifying property of brooms makes them useless. Our
whole topic is shot.
What is happening tonight, man?
No noise is coming out of you. It's so funny.
My brain feels broken right now. More, she continues, the purifying property of brooms makes them useful as barriers when placed beside or over a doorway.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I love this magazine.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. I've said it's in almost every single episode we've done so far, but I'm so sorry.
No, it is a gorgeous magazine. I did the flip through of it on my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to see all the pages in all their gorgeous beauty, go check out my video. We'll link it below because I think I flipped through every single page in that video.
I'm going to take a line from you again and be like, wouldn't that be some shit if one day we were on the cover of Enchanted Living?
Oh,
what's this called?
Enchanted Living. Like, we got to cover our ass just in case we get asked. We can't look like we don't know what we're talking about.
That's right. Okay. All right. So what else do they say?
She also says, I hold a mantra in my mind for all the hands-on parts of the creation process, usually a neutral chant such as earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, fire my spirit. Why do broomsticks have such an archetypal appeal? Broomsticks represent the autonomous woman who refused to conform and behave according to rigid societal expectations. Medieval witch hunters planted the seed that grew into modern pop culture's depiction of witches by perverting a traditionally feminine household implement into a tool for diabolical mischief. Imagine a woman who doesn't stay at home being obediently domestic, who uses her broom to fly off into the night. Rebellious, non-obedient women have always been a threat to the status quo and remain so to this day.
Absolutely.
To buy one of Baker's exquisite creations, visit her Etsy shop, Nightshade Handmade. And I don't know if she still has an Etsy shop because this article is kind of old, right?
I feel like she does. Those brooms are stunning. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. And she's absolutely right. Like, any woman in power, it's 2022. We don't even have the rights of our own bodies these days, but she's absolutely right.
I know. We're still a threat to the status quo. So let's move on to how are brooms and besoms used by modern witches today. So some of the magical properties, and this is from wikipedia.com. So, it's definitely accurate.
100%. Please.
So it says, as a tool, the besom is usually thought of as masculine in nature due to its phallic shape and symbolism. However, the besom's components are both masculine and feminine in orientation. The handle and ash stave is masculine in nature, while the birch used for the bristles is thought of as feminine in nature. The besom is thought to be involved with fairies.
So in my mind, like if we're really pulling like the phallic shape, which it is, like the handle is definitely the phallic shape. However, usually a fan is in the shape of a V. You know, it's smaller at the one end and it widens at the other end. So in that shape alone is feminine.
Right.
Not just the bristle, birch, and ash.
Right.
But that's where my mind would be. Exactly like the mortar and pestle.
Right. And what you said actually makes a lot more sense.
Thank you. I should go on Wikipedia.
But maybe they mean that the birch that's used for the bristles is thought of as feminine because every herb, every
plant, yes.
Everything has, in magic anyway, everything has magical correspondences, and everything, if you look at like Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia for Magical Herbs, it's got the orientation of every single herb in that book. So it's either masculine, it can be feminine, maybe it has both. It depends on the herb, but maybe I have not read into birch specifically, but maybe birch has the magical correspondence of the feminine orientation. Maybe that's why they're associating it with the feminine. I really don't know. Maybe we could find that really quick.
Yeah, go for it. I'm yelling at my cat.
All right. So it seems that it doesn't say here whether it's feminine or masculine, but it does say that the correspondences are Venus and Moon, which is
feminine,
divine feminine. So I'm guessing that it is feminine.
I see.
So that explains that. But what you said actually makes so much sense.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh. So traditionally, the broom, as we said, is called a besom, and these are often handmade from branches of trees. And the broom is not considered to be like a core ritual tool in Wicca. And this is from WiccaLiving.com. I personally don't practice Wicca. When somebody is like, "Hey, what are you? What do you do?" I just say, "I'm pagan. I'm not Wiccan." But it is often used to purify a ritual space before casting a sacred circle. So this doesn't usually involve any actual sweeping. However, the bristles of the broom generally don't ever touch the floor. So I guess they are doing sweeping, but you're not touching the floor with the bristles. This is more of a ritualistic, energetic purifying of the space, removing negative energy, or just plain energetic clutter, they say. This step happens after a good mundane sweeping with the regular broom or vacuum that has already taken place. Because ritual brooms serve as purifiers, they are associated with the element of water. Interesting.
Okay.
And therefore sacred to the goddess. Well, what you were just saying with Venus and the moon makes sense now.
Yep. Yeah, I had no idea that brooms were associated with the goddess or water for that matter.
I would think air or fire, like in like the tarot, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. The broom can also be used to help close the circle at the end of the ritual. In fact, it can be highly effective in dissipating residual energies raised during the ritual. During the ritual itself, the broom is usually, it would usually be sat at the side of the Wiccan altar. Otherwise, it's common to place it near the entrance of your home to guard against any negative or unwanted energy.
Could this be any altar, or because it's not just Wiccans who use brooms for their ritual, right?
Right. So I guess if you don't associate as a Wiccan, but you want to incorporate the broom into your practice, that's exactly how you could do so by just keeping it near your altar. That's probably a good way to charge it up. Yeah, I agree.
All right. So let's move on to small handheld brooms. And this is from urbanmilwaukee.com. So this was written by a local healer, herbalist, and artist named Rachel Gonzalez, and she makes beautiful brooms. They are particularly popular with Milwaukee witches.
Cool.
She's local to Milwaukee. In this article, it talks about, I'm going to try not to mess up this name, Arabajian Lawson, a Milwaukee-based birth, postpartum, death, and general spiritual doula and threshold guide, practices healing and spirituality via cleansing rituals, ceremonies, and other daily customs. In this article, she says, personal cleansing is the broom magic practice I use the most. In this ceremony, a small handheld broom is used to gently sweep the body from head to toe. Sometimes I just sweep about an inch away from my body. Sometimes I sweep against my skin. I stomp my feet 3 times to the ground to to ground myself and will often use some herbs to smoke cleanse afterward. A larger cobwebber broom is Arabajian Lawson's choice for herbal dust washes and energetic clearing, which includes sprinkling powdered or dry herb mixtures and salt on the floors and thresholds of the house, then sweeping them out through the front door. The process aims to remove negative energy and cleanse and refresh the space. And that kind of leads us right into floor sweeps, which
Dude, that's perfect because I kind of just eyeballed where this should go.
Yeah. How do we do that? That actually is perfect.
That's that dollar in the universe's ATM, man.
I know.
So I'd never done a floor sweep before until like by accident this past Samhain when I had my ancestral altar. So I had in my studio, my little room, that's my art studio, I have a hanging like hammock chair right next to my altar. So when I'm with the ancestors, I can just hang out in the hammock chair. I don't know what it is. I talked to my friend Caitlin about this, who's a Reiki practitioner, and she's like, go and ground, like be outside, lay down. I'm like, I would lay in my hammock. I don't know why. I love being suspended. It must be the air sign thing. But anyway, I put like a circle. I sat in my hammock chair and I put a circle of salt like around the floor where I was sitting. And after everything was done, I left it for a day or so and I swept it from there. And I'd never done that before. I was like, it's been 6 or 7 years, Kristina, and this is your first time doing a floor sweep. I felt like
it's funny. Sometimes like things don't come into your practice until they're supposed to.
And the thing is, like, salt is one of so many things you can use. So floor sweeps are, you can do store-bought, which is fine. Support your local. I recommend supporting your local witch if you don't feel like making your own.
You sound like Ina Garten.
Is she the one who's like the flames of hell? If store-bought is fine.
Store-bought is fine.
Awesome. So what you're going to want to do, so they're usually what you're going to mix up in a bowl are some desired herbs along with either salt or baking soda. And that's really used like I'm assuming that the baking soda and salt are going to really pull up like odors and shit from your floor. So when you're mixing all these herbs together, and I'm going to talk about a couple different herbs and what you might want to use them for, you can take your spoon or your finger. And I was just thinking of this like almost like a Zen garden. So like all the granules in your bowl, draw with your finger or the end of your spoon, draw sigils or bless it. You could draw a pentagram in it, but whatever you do, try to stir it clockwise, like fold in the cheese, fold in that energy clockwise to draw in or attract the energy you're seeking. So some of the different herbs you can use or minerals is salt, and salt is very purifying in its discouragement of unwanted spirits or energy. Super cleansing. It's like a staple. Like salt, what do you think? Salt and rosemary are like good for everything.
Totally.
I feel like you are really rubbing off on me in your Italianness because I'm like punching at the screen with my hand, talking with my hands all over the place here.
Oh my God. Do I talk my hands a lot?
I don't know. I'll have to pay attention. So rosemary then is perfect segue, is great for warding off nightmares. It's good for divination. It's good for healing and good luck. So as I go through these, if you have any other like trigger thoughts of what these might be good for or what you might use them for, please let me know.
Not thus far, but when you were saying like to draw in a bowl with like your finger or something to kind of like the Zen sand kind of deal, what came up first in my mind was I have this like little pewter spoon with a little crystal point on the end. Have you seen that?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they sell them on like Amazon for like, I don't know, maybe $20 for a pack of like 100 or some shit like that.
Oh, damn.
I actually got mine off of somebody on Etsy and I paid like, a pretty little penny for it, but I think you can get them in bulk for a little bit cheaper than that now that I've done my research.
Okay.
But I was thinking like, drawing in your floor sweep mixture with, your crystal point, or if you work with a wand. I mean, you don't need fancy tools. Your finger is probably the best tool you can use because it's the energy coming directly from you. But if you wanted to be more elaborate with it, by all means, definitely you can incorporate like a crystal point or something of the sort if it makes you feel more witchy.
Or if you have like a crystal that you really connect with, or a quartz or something that you want to infuse or charge or whatever, let it sit in that bowl for a minute, do your research, make sure it's safe. If you're adding water, really look that shit up.
Salt might dissolve some crystals too.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. But you can also add, I didn't include this, but you can add drops of essential oil. If that's easier, that salt and or baking soda will absorb that. What else we have? We got rose. Rose is good for encouraging love of all kinds. And I know there's like one of these days we're going to do an episode on the Victorians, but a whole language of like what flowers mean. So different color roses to enhance different kinds of love. If you do live with your family, if you want more of that harmonious love to be brought in, maybe look up that color. I would think yellow for some reason. My heart goes to yellow for family love.
Family love. I heard yellow's like a big friendship color.
Okay.
I don't know family would be, but maybe it's along the same lines. I always associate roses with like rose magic with candle magic because there are so many different colors and so many different things you can use them for.
Exactly.
So maybe
Alright.
incorporating rose into some of that.
So raspberry apparently. So the raspberry brambles, the branches, you can hang them up at the doors or windows of your home for protection. This is also done, I guess, in a tradition that so a spirit won't re-enter the house after it's left. So if there is a passing within the home, you can hang up raspberry branches or leaves. We got Mr. Cinnamon. The leaves of cinnamon trees were often woven into wreaths and used to decorate the ancient Roman temples. Wait, what the hell's that guy's name? Do you ever watch the Roman Empire? Sean Bean.
No.
The Roman Empire. Okay. When burned as an incense, it aids in healing and protection. We have bay leaves are good for protection against evil spirits and making dreams come true. We have pepper. Black pepper is good for banishing and stimulating. Let me know if I'm going too quick, if you want to add anything.
Oh, I was just going to say the bay leaf, not only for a floor sweep, but I burn them on New Year's Eve to kind of like clean the slate.
Yeah.
But I know this is all having to do with brooms. So.
Oh, no, absolutely. But if you wanted to write intentions on the bay leaf, and then crumble it up, because they're pretty dry, right? You can kind of crack them in half pretty easy. Yes. We have mint. Mint is good for invigoration and prosperity, abundance, and love. Thyme is expansiveness, love, fairy magic, and happy homes. Basil is good for reducing stress, warming, and abundance. Clove is good for protection, banishing unwanted energies, relieving worries. Ginger is associated with assuring successes, love spells, motivation. Chamomile is good for promoting harmony, and pine is good for abundance. So whatever you want to pull from those, or whatever your intention kind of brings forth to you that you mix in, you're going to mix the mixture with the baking soda and then sprinkle it around on your floors. So like we said, the baking soda it's fine for your floors as well as your carpets. I wouldn't let it sit there all day. Yeah. I would sprinkle it and get right to your cleaning. But you can also do this to your furniture. Don't forget to get in those little tight corners and spaces. Just focus on your intent. And as you sweep or vacuum, you can vacuum it up, but as you sweep it up, make sure that, again, I think we just said this it's recommended to go from the back of your house to the front and starting at the furthest corner and sweeping it out the front of your door. I think it had said in the article too, they were like, you can throw it in the trash, but just get rid of it as soon as you can. My mind went to, if you can, I love disposing things in a ritual fashion. So if you can go out and bury it or add it to a bonfire or like sprinkle it somewhere, that's even better. And my only thing is like, maybe put your animals in a different room at the time, and save that room for after. Just keep your little pets away just in case, because their little paws will get all in that thing.
Oh, all up in it.
Yeah.
I did have a question. So would you recommend doing a floor sweep before or after a floor wash?
I would do it before.
Yeah.
Just because that floor wash is going to like seep into the pore. Like we have hardwood, so it's going to seep into all the other little nooks. But does your gut say do it after?
I would do the floor wash after a sweeping, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So no, I agree with you. Because like the baking soda and stuff, like those are all dry ingredients, right? So if you did the floor wash first and then you did the floor sweep, it would kind of probably adhere to the floor, right? Once the floor is wet, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably do it the other way around, like you said.
Awesome.
I was just wondering what you thought would be best.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is the share your Tumblr thing.
The what?
That what?
Sorry. My brain is mush right now.
The what? That you said to remind you to read your Tumblr post. The Practical Magic with Witches by, you had a picture. You were showing me a picture.
Oh, yes, that. I'm like, what the fuck? What?
My brain is broke.
My brain is broken.
We're almost there.
We are in the home stretch, guys. We promise. All right. So I found this on Instagram, just scrolling through my feed, and I was like, oh my god, we're doing a broom episode. Let me just yoink this. And this This is from at Magical Recipes Online, and I guess that's their Instagram handle. So this is practical magic with the witch's broom. So the first thing is cleansing, which we already talked about, used to consecrate your magical space before casting a circle or even during doing magic. Then grab a handful of salt, throw it on the ground, and start brushing with your magic broom, kind of like the floor sweeping we were just talking about. Number 2, as protection. In addition, if you feel that you are a target of demonic or psychic attacks when you sleep, then place it under your bed, as it will create a magical barrier and protect you effectively from these attacks. And you were kind of like saying that the besom is kind of like a pagan dream catcher. That's
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But it was you who said, like, when you store your broom, its bristles down, because like all those little baddies creepity crawling in are going to get stuck in there. They're going to get stuck.
Yeah. I put my broom on my front porch, but it's not a bad idea to put one, I guess, in your bedroom, under your bed, or over your bed, maybe, if you have pets and you don't want them getting to your broom under the bed, because my cats go under my bed all the time. So it might be a good idea to put one over your bed as a symbolization of kind of like a dream catcher type deal, you know?
I got like a short little story. So my grandfather one time donated to like the St. Joseph's whatever contribution shit. And ever since then, multiple times a year, he'll get in the mail these dream catchers. I sent you one. That's one of the dream catchers I sent you.
Thank you.
They send Joe a dream catcher all the time. But if there was a charity that I could sign up for that would send me besoms, I'm there.
Oh,
I'm there.
100%. That's really funny. I have the dream catcher. I showed you where I put it, right? I put it on top of my herbal.
It's like the size of a quarter. It's so small.
Yeah, but it's so cute where I put it. I put it on top of my banner. I have like this herbal tapestry banner, and I have it like right on top where it's hung up from. The little.
Well, that's from Grandpa Joe Babich.
Thanks,
there you go.
Grandpa Joe. I love it.
I will.
So another way to use the witch's broom is to stop gossip. I've never heard of this one. Have you?
Oh.
This says, if you wish to protect your house from unwanted guests, physical or spiritual, or gossip, then place the broomstick across the main windowsill or the front door, or across the boundary of your property. So I've never heard of that, to stop the gossip.
I haven't either.
And then the fourth one, and this is the last one, this is a very short and sweet little meme, is love magic. If you have a special partner and you will like to be bonded even more to them, lay the broom on the floor and perform the jumping the broomstick ritual. So it's kind of like along the lines of like a marriage ritual, like we talked about with all the different cultures before.
That's cute. To just do it, the two of you?
Yeah.
That would be very sweet.
Yeah, me and Avi, we did we jumped the witch's broom at our wedding, and I'm like thinking now, like, it might be cool to do that I still have the broom that we jumped. It wasn't like an actual witch's broom. It was like a little broom that I bought off Etsy for this specific wedding ritual purposes. It's just like the broomstick end of it, which would be like, I guess, like the birch or whatever you use for the actual broom part. It's just tulle, or like it's fabric. So it's not an actual real witch's broom. I just bought it because one of my flower girls, she escorted that down the aisle.
How cute.
Yeah, that was her little prop to bring down the aisle. And then when it was time for us to jump the broom, she got up and she laid it down across the aisle for us. So put little interactive things for both of our little flower girls.
That would be great if you jumped it every year, and then you could like add a little ribbon, add a little different color ribbon for every year.
Now we gotta start doing that. It's only 5 years past.
It's never too late.
I know.
Very sweet.
We have our hand fasting ribbon as well that I'm like dying to put in like a shadow box. Something.
Yeah.
Bedroom.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about how to go about finding your own besom?
So if you want to find your own besom, you can go to wickedliving.com. And so ritual brooms can be any size, from miniature decorative brooms that you sometimes see in craft stores or hanging on the wall in kitchens, to full-size functional brooms. Traditional woods used for sacred brooms include birch, ash, and willow, but any wood will suffice. Like, honestly, I'm telling you, I just went to the side of my house and just like picked up a stick from my backyard.
Yeah.
It was like a maple tree branch.
Yeah, I could not tell you what the driftwood was that I picked up. No idea.
That is really cool. That is really
drift
cool.
wood.
So you can even find instructions for how to make your own besom using the type of wood available in your area. In fact, some witches keep it very simple by just using a fallen tree branch as a symbol.
There it is.
There you go.
There it is.
There it
That
goes.
is the most witchy way, because it like chooses you. Dude, I need to tell you something real quick. This has nothing to do with besoms, but probably, so we went to the Renaissance Fair the week before Halloween. Aaron bought the Gandalf pipe, and we bought a tapestry that that you shall not pass. Lord of the Rings tapestry. Anyway, I take the dog through the woods almost every day. We go for a pretty long 4-mile, whatever. We're walking and I pass this stick. I'm so fucking weirdo. I passed the stick and it's the perfect, I turned around. It was so perfect that I turned around to pick it up. It's the perfect walking stick because where my hand sits has like 3 like little branches that come up and like cradle my hand. I've had this thing for 3 weeks. It's perfect. It chose me. That's what I'm saying.
Are you going to make a broom out of it?
I feel like I should save it because I just lean it against the garage. So I remember to take it on our walks.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I feel like you chose me, man.
What you need to do, you need to like weave a crystal into the top of it. Like it's like a really cool like sphere or some shit.
Yeah.
You feel like Gandalf or something walking through
That's
the
what I was thinking. Like when I think I had that so firmly in my mind that we had just like had this whole like Lord of the Rings experience.
Yeah.
That I was like, this is my Gandalf staff. That's how I felt. It's the perfect staff.
That's awesome.
All right. Continue, please.
All right. So yeah. Of course, your broom doesn't have to be handmade. Common household brooms can also be dedicated to the work of witchcraft, though it should ideally have a wooden handle rather than metal or plastic. No matter what your broom is made of, however, it should never be used for everyday house cleaning, as this will contaminate the sacred energy it holds for ritual and magical purposes. That's why we talked about before, you need a cleaning broom as well as a magical broom. They are not the same. So indeed, this is one tool that should not be repurposed for magic. So plan to acquire a new broom of one kind or another, rather than attempting to consecrate an already used broom from your hall closet.
Yeah, you don't want that dollar store plastic green and gray broom.
No.
Mine has the attached little like
dustpan.
What's that called? Dustpan. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same. I probably have the same broom as you. All right, so you found a cool little bit about brooms and dreams, right?
I'm surprised, yeah, that there was something about brooms in these books. We we used these 2 books as sources in the Death Watch Beetle episode, and I got to remember to start using these more.
Mm-hmm.
But in relation to this topic, brooms in the first source is called the Dream Dictionary from A to Z by Teresa Chung. They say that featured brooms are considered to be a good sign of good fortune, suggesting that you will be making a clean sweep in your waking life. The dream may be urging you to sweep out something from your past, so pay attention to what you are sweeping up. If the broom is damaged, you may be suffering from low self-esteem or feelings of insecurity. If the broom is being used outside, are you taking too much interest in the outside world and neglecting what is really important to you? Interesting.
Yeah.
And the second book I have is The Ultimate Dream Dictionary by Brasida Ryan. And they say, dreaming about a broom signifies that a major change will occur in your life that will be out of control. Be prepared for this within like a few weeks. This book is really specific. This is also the book that talked about like low iron. Like if you dream about a beetle, you have
iron deficiency.
Iron deficiency. So if you dream about the broom, something out of your control in your life is going to happen within the week. It's going to be, so expect the unexpected. If you dream about a broomstick, it's going to be within 4 days. So within 4 days, you will finally achieve the reconciliation you have been seeking. This union would be blessed with prosperity and abundance in those areas of your life you most desire. You will be entering the lucky 7-day cycle of your week. You will be, I don't know. This book is so weird.
This is oddly specific.
It's very specific numerically.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Brasida.
You're welcome.
Oh my God. Is this the end here?
Is this real life?
All right. So we have both of our broom videos linked up here at the end. Was there anything else additionally we wanted to say about those? Or did we kind of touch on those? We talked about them before, right?
We talked about them before. I guess all I'll add is that there are 9 different types of broom weed. When I watched Jacqueline Dubois' video that inspired me to make my broom weed fucking broom, I didn't know that there were so many. So I'm trying to go off of visuals, and I wanted to include like a broader discussion about the broom weed, but there's so many different types there's Texas broomweed, there's another annual prairie broomweed, common broomweed. There's a tropical plant, Crocus soliloquus. That's kind of pretty. Crocus soliloquus. It's a tropical plant used for making brooms. The one that I thought I used is going to be highlighted in the notes. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Gutierrez Sorothiae.
Yes, Sorothiae. Yeah.
And then there's a Gutierrez texicana, which is Texas snakeweed or matchweed. Malvatrum coromendalanum. We need to start recording these in the evening because I can pronounce these a lot better.
We're great at Latin, guys.
Great at Latin. There are lots. There's another tropical plant called the Sitta species and Triumpheta, a Trianum feta species, which is another tropical plant used for making brooms. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's all simple.
I gotta pee so bad. Could you
throw
us this poem, man?
I'm gonna throw this poem to you guys so freaking hard it's gonna knock you off your rocker. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So this poem, I think the origin is unknown. I found this on some rando website. I think this was I might have found this off Pinterest, but the origin says it's unknown.
Okay.
So this is a cute little Be-Some poem. I think a lot of people add this to their Book of Shadows. So if you guys want to add this to your own little Book of Shadows, here it goes. Goes a little something like this.
You can copy and paste it from these notes.
Yeah, this will be available in our show notes on our Patreon after the show. If you're interested in any of our bullshit today,
it's yours.
Here it goes. It's yours. So the Be-Some poem. Be-Some, Be-Some, long and lithe, made from ash and willow withe, tied with thongs of willow barkin, running stream at moonset dark. With a pentagram indicted as the ritual fire is lighted, sweep ye circle, dioso, sweep out evil, sweep out ill. Make the round of the ground where we do the lady's will. Be-Some, Be-Some, ladies' broom, sweep out darkness, sweep out doom. Rid ye ladies' hallowed ground of demons, imps, and hell's red hound. Then set ye down on her green earth, the running stream of our mistress hearth, till called once more on Sabbath night to clean once more the dancing sight. I tried to get really fucking medieval with that shit.
It took you a bit, but you let it out. You let it just burble out of you. Bubble guts.
I channeled something else there. I don't know where I was going with that, but
that's so pretty. Oh, that's a bummer that there's no origin known.
This says it was adapted by Lorelei Black.
Ooh.
Who's that? Do you know who that is?
No.
That's on afwcraft.blogspot.com. I don't know who Lorelei Black is.
Dude, we're so close to being done. I feel like we have 7 minutes. We could wrap this shit up.
Yeah, we don't have to include all this bullshit. I'm just looking for what I initially found, but I can't find it now, so never mind. So that's all we got about the broom and all the magic and lore that goes with the broom.
Awesome. Dude, this was fun. This was a fun one. I really like this one a lot.
This was a juicy episode.
We have something else to do, however.
Oh, you're right. I forgot.
We have something else to do. So y'all, we weren't kidding when we were like, patrons vote on what we're going to talk about. We have all these topics and we will pick kind of what we want to talk about, but we also want to put it in your hands. So on our Patreon, we put a little poll of what we should talk about. There's 5 Fridays in this December. However, normally there's 4, and a Patreon pick for the topic will be the norm, I think.
Yeah. So today's episode was actually the Patreon pick for December, right?
Yes, that is correct. But we also are going to do a random generator one. I guess that's where I was trying to go.
Yeah. So basically, we're going to random generate the topic for another upcoming episode. Will that be the next episode?
That will be the next episode. Yes.
Yeah. So then for January, we want to do another Patreon poll. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick out, let's say, 5 topics from this random generator, and those will be the topics included on our poll for January. And then you guys can vote on which one of those 5 random topics you want to see for January. And then we'll record that one for you guys. All right. So let me get up my random generator.
So we have yet to random generate a topic for next week. And that's what we're going to do live for you guys. So you can see how we kind of pick these things.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. This is kind of like a lottery, right?
I'm scared.
Yeah. So we have, I don't know what, like 100+ topics on this list.
Yeah.
So you guys don't know what topics are on this list. We're just going to like pull names out of a hat and those are going to be the topics. And if you guys have topics that you want to hear us cover, they may or may not be on our list already, but send in your ideas and we'll add them if they're not on our list already. But they have to win this lottery to be considered for discussion.
Awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to screen share with you, Kristina, so you can see what I'm doing.
Oh, fun. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Those are all of our topics.
There are many.
Let's see. Let's just see where this takes us. All right.
3, 2, 1. Wow. That's a lot of names. Here we go. Exploring the magic of New England.
Exploring the magic of New England. All right. We'll add that to the list. So that's one topic.
Oh, that's not what the one we're doing next?
No.
I'm confused how this is working.
Hold on. Kristina, trust the process.
Okay, I'm ready. So we're going to pick, how many are we picking? And then we generate from that?
So we'll pick like 5 and those will be the poll topics that they get to vote from.
But we need one for like now. We need one to like do this next week.
All right. So how about we pick 6 and then we pick one from those topics that we'll do for next week. One topic will go to us for next week and 5 will go to the poll for January.
Awesome. Okay, good. Let's do that.
All right. So we'll pick one more or 5 more, right? All right. So
Dwight.
Dwight.
Oh, poor Dwight.
Hi, Dwight. Do you think we could do a whole episode on him?
I bet you we could.
We probably could. Okay. I'm going to add him.
We will pull him apart. His whole minute and a half scene.
Dwight. All right. Okay. Next, moving right along. Ooh, 90s witch fashion.
Awesome.
That's a good one. 90s witch fashion. All right, we'll do another one. Lavender for luck.
Lavender for luck. Awesome. Okay.
All right, so this is the character analysis for Francis Owens.
So what do we have? We have exploring the magic of New England. We have the discussion about Dwight. And if y'all don't remember, Dwight is the man who comes into Sally's Verbena apothecary with a return request because the product doesn't work.
Right. Yeah.
We got 90s witch fashion, lavender for luck, and a character analysis about Francis Owens.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still need one more.
All right.
So let's do this. So Sally's gifts of premonition. Do you think that would be in like the Claire's episode?
Yeah, probably.
Would that be its own thing?
I think it would be in the Claire's thing.
Oh, okay. So should I put the Claire's?
Yeah.
Okay. So should I randomize these?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Watch it be Dwight. All right. We got 90s witch fashion for our next topic. Awesome.
Interesting.
I kind of just started this note today.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
All right, guys. So you heard it. The next episode is going to be 90s witch fashion. So all the topics that you guys just heard, which are exploring the magic of New England, Dwight, lavender for luck, character analysis for Francis Owens, and the Claires, which is clairvoyance, cognizance, sentience, and audience. Those will all be patron. Those will be part of our patron only poll on our Patreon page. So if you guys want access to the polls, you guys get to choose what topic you want to hear us talk about in a future episode.
Yeah.
One of the episodes for January, right?
Yeah. And the ones that don't get the ones that don't get picked get put back into the pool and they go back into the generator.
Yep. They go back into the lottery. So that's it. So check us out on our Patreon page. For all you guys who have been on our Patreon already, thank you so much for all your support. Everybody sending us in DMs, fan mail, all the mails. We appreciate you guys reaching out and joining in on the discussion. And in what is it? Our song-a-sode, was it that we're gonna read some of that fan mail, some of that mail coming in?
Yeah, that would be great. Right before Christmas, we're going to do the song-a-sode. I can't wait to fucking do these songs. Oh. But y'all have sent us the nicest comments and letters. So we want to read some of those and say thank you. Thank you so very much. And a happy Yule.
Yeah, man.
So that Patreon is patreon.com/Magnolia Street Podcast. You can find us there. If you are on that Patreon, you get access to our private Discord and Facebook group where we get to talk to you a little bit more personally. And you can find us on Instagram if you haven't already at Magnolia Street Podcast. Send us an email at magnoliastreetpodcast@gmail.com. Or I don't know if we've got an Anchor voice message before, have we?
No, I don't think we have a voice message before, but we had, I think, a couple people weigh in on the polls that we have on our Spotify.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So we'll read all that stuff on our, I guess, our song-a-sode. We'll also share all of our people weighing in on all of the stuff we have released thus far, which will be a lot of fun, I think.
Fantastic. So yeah, if you go on Anchor, there's an option to send us a voice message, or look at the Spotify episode. There's usually a poll that you can interact with. So please do. And
we have a TikTok now, right? We have
a TikTok now. Yes, we're going to be posting to TikTok little snippets and trailers of our episodes.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. I'm glad.
We got to add TikTok to our socials now.
Yeah. Oh, and guys, we do have a YouTube channel.
We do. So I guess if Spotify or Apple Podcast is not your thing, all of our episodes are going to be on YouTube also.
Yep. And yeah, I think that's still the same, that Magnolia Street Podcast. So that is it. I think we're finally done with this episode.
I know this inspired me to kind of take care of my brooms a little better. And this coming spring, I'm going to adorn mine with something new.
Yeah. And this episode inspired me to trap all the negative juju over the next year and then burn my yarrow and then make a new broom with the next yarrow harvest next summer.
Awesome. I wonder if, since your yarrow is all dry, does it drop its own seeds? Like, does it reseed itself?
I'm not sure, but it is a perennial. It does come back every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool if you could like shake it and like the end of the broom shook out all the seeds, like little raindrops.
Ooh, I should do that into a pot and see if anything flourishes, right?
That would be sweet. Yes.
I'll try that at the end of the winter, maybe. That'll be fun.
Okay.
All right, man. So is that it? Do we have anything else we want to add before we hit the road?
That is it. I guess we'll see everybody next week for our random generated. What was it again? 90s Witch Fashion.
90s Witch Fashion.
Sweet, man. All right. We'll see you next time.
At that house down the street. At that house on Magnolia Street. Would you go down to Magnolia Street with the wisteria girl? Wow. And the house of magic and mystery. So would you go down to Magnolia Street?
Dude, my brain is fried. Wallace.
It's bedtime.